All right, hello, hi, everybody. Good morning. It's the Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports, on 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app, podcast platforms. We talked yesterday about YouTube. I should also mention 97.3 HD2 if you were one of the many people driving around. If you're stuck in traffic a little bit more often now with Revive I-5 shutting down a couple lanes right here through the heart of the city, well, you can listen on 97.3 HD2, crystal clear, high-definition radio, perfect way to listen to the show and without any of the static or frustration of the AM band on your radio. So just a couple of options for you. Good morning, Maura. Good morning, Lyle.
Morning.
Obviously, a ton of football talk today. If everything works out, we should have some really spectacular guests here over the course of the next couple of days. Joel Klatt's going to do 7:30 this morning. And then we are hoping to talk to Jeff Saturday, Brock's old teammate, at 8:30. Not guaranteed or confirmed yet, but there's been some talk. Curt Menefee, though, of Fox Sports, is definitely going to join us at 9. And then 9:30, we're going to talk to Shannon Drayer. So a ton of guest possibilities today. And we'll talk to Shannon about what's going on with Felix as he took a historic jump yesterday in the Hall of Fame voting, which I think is really cool and probably ultimately will mean that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Gets to, 46%. So pretty awesome for Felix yesterday, and as it should be. Look, I got a pretty simple view on the Hall of Fame. I know that baseball is all about numbers. They play a huge role in the sport. And because of it, there are a lot of opportunities to compare one player against another. And those opportunities have only gotten better over the course of the last decade or so as our ability to dive deeper into the park factors and the league factor. Like, we've gotten so advanced and we can really compare players at a tremendous rate. So for those people that are really into the statistical comparisons, tip my cap, and I think that's an awesome way for you to view the Hall of Fame. I just think back and say, were you one of the dominant players of your era at your position? Were you one of the best players at your position? Pretty much that simple. And I kind of believe that with the help of stats, you kind of just know that. I like the word fame in Hall of Fame. It doesn't mean that everybody in it has to be the most famous or that every one of the most famous people needs to be in the Hall of Fame. But I do think that there is a component to being a Hall of Famer that is personality, impact on the sport, relevancy during your time. All of those things factor in. And all of those reasons, when I look at it, I say Felix Hernandez is a Hall of Famer. One of the dominant pitchers of his time. It wasn't a long time, but it was his time. And it is included with the King's Court and the flair and the nickname, King Felix, all of it together is what make Felix a Hall of Famer. And then you add in the dominant years that he had, and there were many of them. You bring in what it felt like to watch Felix, which was, I mean, I say this all the time. Felix is one of a couple pitchers I've had the opportunity to watch every 5 days in my life, where when he walked a couple of guys in an inning, you'd be like, is he hurt? Because it was impossible to imagine that many people would walk against him in an inning. If he had a bad start, you'd be like, what's going on? Arm, shoulder, elbow, oblique, legs? Like, what's wrong with him? Because there's no way a healthy Felix Hernandez gives up runs, loses. Like, that doesn't happen. So, for a while there, he was, I think, the best pitcher in baseball. And certainly in that conversation with Justin Verlander and a couple of the other guys that were in his era. And look, Verlander's obviously a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer, given the length of the career and the success. There's not a shroud of doubt there. But there'll be a little bit with Felix because he didn't do it for that long. It wasn't as long or dominant a career, and that's okay. Justin Verlander's not the only person of that generation. But Felix should be in. And my gut tells me after yesterday that he is going to be. And I'm looking forward to it. I think Felix is one of the people that is really good for baseball. Yes, I'm the same person who thought the Mariners should trade him. And I still think the Mariners should have traded him. Nothing personal. It's the same reason I think that, we were talking about it yesterday. You want to win a championship? Sometimes you got to make difficult decisions. And I don't know that keeping one dominant pitcher was the right move for the Mariners of that generation. I think if they had gone and traded him, gotten the right pieces back, maybe they could have built something differently. But whatever. It's never personal. Loved watching Felix. Absolutely adored watching Felix. And to this day, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I'll just keep saying it again. Speaking of baseball, and as I said, ton of football to come a little bit later in the show. And then tomorrow, it sounds like Kevin Burkhardt, who will call the game, will join us. And, well, we're still trying to get the one of the owners of the Raiders. I don't know which one. Whichever one. Mark Davis, Tom Brady, whoever's capable of coming on, whoever has a relevance to this game, we're trying to get them at some point later this week. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. But anybody catch the Hot Stove Show last night? There's a ton of good stuff. Both Rob Refsnyder, newest Mariner, came over from the Red Sox, and Josh Naylor joined the Hot Stove Show. And I just thought you guys would love some of the Josh Naylor. I don't know whether you caught it or not. But here he is, just absolutely being in love with Mariner fans.
I try to do the best I can to show them love, perform the best I can in front of them, and just win baseball games really at the end of the day, because when we win, they win too. It's a huge family here, fans included, so we go through the ups and downs together, which is awesome. The ride or die fans here are absolutely incredible. You don't really see them a lot with other fan bases, and I'm not knocking no other fan bases at all, but this is just such an exceptional group that they love you thoroughly through your mistakes, through your failures, through your bad days, bad weeks, bad months. They continuously support you, and I'm so grateful for that and so grateful for them.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. He went on to talk about some of the bonding moments that he's had with the fans since he's been here, but the strangest thing about Josh Naylor, and there's a bunch. I mean, he's sort of a strange guy in all the right ways, is that he's the one person that loves hitting here. Everybody else hates it, right? Teoscar Hernandez complaining about the vision and the visuals. It's not Josh. Josh just loves it.
First and foremost, I love hitting here. This is one of my favorite ballparks hitting here, even when I was an opponent. I would always check this place off or circle it on my calendar because I knew when I came here it was time to do damage. I loved hitting here. I don't know what it was, but I love the atmosphere. And then I love just kind of the view of the field in the batter's box. For me personally, even on the away side and on the home side, I felt the same way. You step in the batter's box and you look in the field and you have confidence right away.
Is that the weirdest thing? Why do you think? I mean, I know each person is different, and maybe there's even a mind over matter thing where you have to just tell yourself you like it rather than allowing yourself to go down the path of complaining, and then it gets in your head. It's bizarre. Everybody else is like, ugh, tough spot to hit. Never really liked hitting there. Very uncomfortable. And he's like, yeah, bring it on. I love it. It's perfect. It's great. It's got to be mine. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I just always think, you ever had a job you hate, Lyle or Maura? I'm sure, not currently, but at some point. You ever have a job you hate and you start the job and you're like, it's going to be good. No, it's going to be good.
Target was the only job I ever quit without notice.
Oh, you just walked out?
I just didn't go back.
Yeah, I like that. But there must have been
They were a mess at the time. It was right out of high school, or I was in high school and then
you're just like, I'm
graduated.
out. I just think there's those moments, right? Because I've been in jobs where I hate, where you're like, don't say it out loud. If somebody asks you how your job is, just be like, oh, it's going great. No problem. Kind of like it. Even though you're trying to work through things. Because once you tell somebody, I don't like it. It's not good. Then it unravels. At least that's the way it is for me. Once I say it out loud, there's no going back. And so I wonder whether there's some of that with Josh Naylor. Let me just quickly play you this one cut from Rob Refsnyder because I thought this was cool because he's a guy that didn't need to come here, right? I mean, he's a right-handed bat who crushes left-handed pitching. That's what he does. He chose the Mariners after being with the Red Sox the last couple of years, and he said, well, it's a pretty good place from the outside.
I just know how great of a team it already is. They made such a exciting postseason run last year. I know the fan base got super excited about it. It's such a dynamic team. It's a young team. There's so many different exciting elements to the roster. Obviously, the starting pitching, being on a different team the past couple of years, that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. You go in there and guys are not expecting to pad their baseball card kind of when they play the Mariners, right? They know it's going to be a battle, a lot of ugly at bats, getting guys over, all those kind of cliches, but that's kind of what you're expected to kind of face when you face the Mariners. And then if you're losing and you're 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, good luck kind of thing.
Well, hopefully that's still going to be the case this year, that good luck with Andres Munoz kind of, back in his role, and hopefully a couple of additions and maybe even some improvements around him. All right, well, that's a little bit of baseball talk today on what will, of course, be a big football day. But Shannon will join us at 9:30 to talk a little bit more about that, and we'll get some more info about Felix over the course of the morning as well. And the Mariners actually made a kind of important move yesterday. It was expected, but still important, and I'll mention that as part of Need to Know next.
Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald. The bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. It's our clearance savings spectacular, and you don't want to miss it. We're slashing prices on all 2025 hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models ready for delivery. And here's the best part, 0% interest financing through 2031. That's right, no interest for 5 years. Ends January 25th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty. Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
Pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Here at Big Trees, we are honored to have performed work for our local professional sports teams, local colleges, numerous commercial sites, and dozens of cities, including Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. While we certainly serve homeowners, Big Trees helps business owners too. Reach out to the experts at bigtreesupply.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, when you win, the accolades start to roll in. And after the Pro Bowlers were announced a couple of weeks ago, Pro Football Writers got together and they announced their honorees yesterday. So, Seahawks, 5 players named to their All-NFC team, most in the conference. You could probably guess some of these guys. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Leonard Williams, Devin Witherspoon, Rashid Shaheed, and Michael Dixon all got honors, with JSN and Williams also receiving all NFL honors. That sounds about right. Like, that's kind of how I would look at this. Nicky Manwari, Gray Zabel, both named to the all-rookie team. The only player that I think is sort of missing in there would be, I think, what you've gotten this year from both DeMarcus Lawrence and Byron Murphy. Maybe I get it. The positions they play and just the number of people who are there. But those would be the other 2 guys that I would look at and say, man, they could really use a little bit more recognition. Field Yates was on yesterday with Bump and Stacy, and he's pretty impressed with this group.
Yeah, I'd say right now it's their tournament to lose, so to speak. The Seahawks play anything close to the way that they did this past Saturday night. I don't think any of the remaining 3 teams is capable of beating them. They got great contributions, obviously, on the ground from Kenneth Walker III, Rashid Shaheed. Kind of got the game going in a way that almost felt like the game was over before it's even started. And then defensively, I think that them and the Houston Texans are put up 2 of the great defensive seasons that we have seen maybe since the Seahawks apex, when the Legion of Boom was at its very best. So this is a no-weakness team right now that still has work left to do, but I think is deservedly viewed as the favorite.
I like that description, a no-weakness team. They are. They are a team without one real weakness, but they're also a team with some very real strengths. And I think that combination is why we're having the conversations we do right now and are about this Seahawks group.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Sean McVay, we got a lot from him yesterday. He was asked by the media about the Seahawks defense and kind of talked about the versatility they bring. Here's a little of Sean McVay. He sounds impressed.
They have vision for players that are these jokers that allow you to basically be able to be stout enough against the run, but still really good in coverage, where a lot of the explosives come up. And so they're a group that can play a so-called lighter grouping because they go draft guys that they have a vision for. And Nick has done a hell of a job being able to basically play. I mean, he's playing outside linebacker for him. He's playing safety. He's playing star. He's playing the dime money spot. They move him all around, and they can be a nickel, but they can basically present a bunch of different base structures because of his versatility, and they've got guys like that across their front.
You think he's making up some of those terms, or you think those are all real?
Dime money.
I liked the beginning where he's like, they got all these jokers, which I know is a football term, but it's funnier if you think of it as more of an insult. He was not insulting at all, but I would say Cam Curl, right? He's the guy with the pick the other. He's had a bunch of picks this year. He was on the Arena podcast and asked about the Seahawks and their success against them. Maybe not quite as complimentary.
Our secondary, we know what type of quarterback he is, and our D-line pass rush. Going back to last year in the wild card, we got after him. The pass rush got after him. He was in Minnesota. And, it's always going to be in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? So if the D-line can get after him, we can make plays on the ball. That's going to win us the game.
Do you see him get rattled?
I feel like our D-line can rattle any quarterback. Man, we got some guys on that D-line, on the edge and in the interior, man. So I feel like our D-line can be X-factor for us.
I would say that's not quite Diamador Lenore level trash talk, but it's like coming right up to it.
I think
right?
Cam Curl's earned it a little more than Diamador Lenore.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, he's really had the Seahawks number and a bunch of other teams' numbers this year as well. But I don't know. We think we know their quarterback. We think we've rattled them. I just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind and remember it as they get ready for this game on Sunday. Coaching carousel, man, I don't have enough time to give you all of the interviews that are scheduled for all of the various people everywhere. But we do know this. Mike McDaniel turned down the Browns head coaching job in order to accept the OC position with the Chargers. I got to imagine that's partly because his salary is still being paid by the Dolphins, so you just kind of offset that. So I would think that makes it a lot easier to say no to a team you don't want to go to. But it would also mean he's not a candidate here if Clint Kubiak decides to leave, which more and more people seem to think is a distinct possibility. Should I play you some of the Field Yates? Yeah, here's a little Field Yates on that.
Yeah, I think he's a strong candidate still for some of these remaining jobs. And I think the ones that we can keep our eyes on are the ones that will have a young quarterback in place soon, like Las Vegas in Fernando Mendoza, or a team that is angling to find that young quarterback.
That's funny because Baltimore seems to be the one where his name has come up the most often. Obviously, the opposite of a young quarterback. But, yeah, we'll see. Either way, not out of the woods yet just because Atlanta went with Stefanski. Still some real possibility that Clint Kubiak could be moving on.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Mariners avoided arbitration with their only unsigned player. Bryce Miller agreed to a one-year deal yesterday with a team option for 2027. So that option gets voided if he finishes in the top 5 in Cy Young voting. He'd have a chance to renegotiate at that point. So nice job by everybody there. Glad cooler heads could prevail and they figured out a contract. They were only, $400,000 apart. So probably not a surprise that they were able to get this done. And then congratulations to Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones, both outfielders, are headed to Cooperstown this summer to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Beltran, fourth shot, one of only 4 players to reach 2,700 hits, 400 home runs, and 300 steals. The other 3, Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, A-Rod. That's a pretty good group to be in. And Jones, I mean, if you don't remember Andrew Jones, he was a defensive wizard, man. 10 Gold Gloves and still hit 435 home runs in 17 seasons. Really great player, dominant center fielder. I always really liked Andrew Jones as a player. But the big mover was Felix Hernandez. He went from 20.6 to 46.1% in just his second year of eligibility. Apparently, that is the largest jump of any candidate since 1967. Luis Aparicio, if you were wondering, was the last to have that kind of movement. I got to imagine Felix gets in if that kind of momentum continues. And generally, once you get up into the 40s and 50s, unless there is a steroid knock or something that's keeping people from voting for you, yeah, I think the momentum starts to build and other writers start taking your case a little bit more seriously. And my guess is Felix gets in. I don't know if it's next year, but is he a year 4, year 5, year 6, something like that? Yeah. I don't know exactly what those years each look like, but I got to imagine Felix will eventually be headed to Cooperstown. That'll be a fun speech. I'll look forward to that. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. You know, the Mariners are doing their big 50th celebration this year, and you're going to have their, I think, 50 greatest Mariners of all time. I got to imagine when Felix is on that list. I wonder where. He's certainly top 10. Felix sneak into the top 5 greatest Mariners of all time?
There's 6, and he should be among them, which is Junior, Ichiro, Edgar, Randy, Felix, and A-Rod. Don't leave A-Rod off your ballot, people. Yeah,
That's probably
those
right.
guys.
That's probably right. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. You got Felix ahead of A-Rod because of the connection here. I think that's fair. Even if A-Rod's such a great player, the connection, like the greatest Mariners to me it does bring in some of that element to it.
Yeah, if you're putting personal feelings toward it, sure.
There's got to be a little stock. Not all of it. Like, it's not like, hey, everybody loved, little Joey Cora, so put him in the top 10. I don't mean that. But, like, if you're looking for an edge between some of those guys, and I don't know if they're doing a full, like, number 1, number 2. It might just be here are the top 50 in alphabetical order. But, yeah, you got to put Felix sort of into that top 5 or 6. I think you're right, Lyle. All right, Daniel Jeremiah, we're so lucky to have him this time of year. I mean, all football season, but especially right now. And, gosh, is he ever excited about what the Seahawks are doing. Find out why and what it means next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical. What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
At Cressy Door, we not only have the perfect garage door for your home, but we also offer options for creating space and even warming your outdoor areas. Check out your options at CressyDoor.com.
Start 2026 at Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton with their New Year's savings on your next vehicle, like the 2025 Tacoma, leasing at just $298 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. The 2026 Tundra, financing at 2.99% APR for 72 months. The 2025 Gas RAV4, leasing at $330 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. And the 2026 BZ, leasing at $339 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. New Year's savings at ToyotaofKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. Offers valid until February 2nd, 2026. Terms available on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealers, accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Hey, Mike Salk here. Look, it has been really cold this morning. Moore and I were just talking about, scraping off the car, and you got to get that defroster, defogger options going early. So at night, it's been really cold. And if your attic, if your crawl space aren't well insulated enough, your house is going to be freezing cold, and you're going to be burning a lot of money in terms of that heating cost. So here's what you do. Call Crawl Pros and get them to come out and check things out. Go let them see what's going on in the crawl space or your attic hatch. They'll do it for free. And then if you got a problem, they'll help you find any rebates that are available. And turns out there's some big significant ones. So like if you are a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up 95% of the cost of that insulation job. That's pretty good, right? So if you're worried anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing, you know it, call Crawl Pros or schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
More than 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients, and you can help us make a difference. Join us for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration on January 31st at Mary Hill Winery in Woodinville's Wine Country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
Compassion.
communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
He's Daniel Jeremiah.
I think he's really, really good.
And he's with Brock and Salk every week during the NFL season.
He could win an MVP.
Daniel's really smart. Daniel's probably the best in the business.
It's time for the Daniel Jeremiah Show, presented by Marquee Data.
Oh, man, what a great day to have Daniel Jeremiah with us, Brock. Been looking forward to this, really, since the game ended on Saturday night. And that was only about 5 minutes into the game. I mean, they continued to play for the remaining 55 minutes, but there really wasn't much of a reason. Once Kyle Shanahan went with the handoff to use check running the option play, I was like, yeah, I think we're done here. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't know what to do. He has no answer for Mike McDonald or this defense. They're already up. It's not going to go his way, and probably could have just walked off right then. So finally today we get our guy, DJ. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, it's funny you referenced that play because I was talking to a buddy in the league when they were watching the Alabama-Indiana game at the Rose Bowl. And they said when Alabama, I don't know if you remember in that game where they were running personnel on and off and is the punt team on, and it was kind of like a trick 'em that they were trying to do there. And it was like, oh my gosh, Indiana, this game's over. Like if Alabama's having to resort to do all this stuff, thinking that's what it's going to take for them to get a first down. And that, of course, that ended up being a blowout as well. That was those little moments in the game kind of tell you whether your good is good enough. Mm-hmm. And I think clearly Kyle knew that their good was not going to be good enough there.
I think you said to us, I don't know if you heard from anybody, DJ, after last week's episode where you talked about if Shanahan wins, they could send the script to Canton. I jumped on KNBR radio, I think on Friday, and the host confused your words. And he's like, I heard Daniel Jeremiah on your show talk about this is going to be canonized, and we're going to call him Canon Kyle. And I was like, I don't think that's what he said.
Saint Kyle.
Yeah, so I don't think it was Canon Kyle. No, I don't think so. So did that script make its way to Canton, or what, what do we think?
The reason I use that phrase, by the way, is because somewhere along the line I had a coach And I know who it was now. When I was at Northeast Louisiana, we had an offensive coordinator named George Hafner, who the poor guy had been the offensive coordinator with Tony Dorsett and won a national championship. He'd been the offensive coordinator at Georgia in like 1980 when they won a national championship with Herschel Walker. The poor guy's coaching us a bunch of slappies at Northeast Louisiana. And every time we'd have a bad practice, go, well, we're not sending this tape to Canton, Ohio. And so I've adopted that phrase. But no, that was total and utter domination. And I do want to say, before we kind of get deeper into it, I'm thankful for you guys, because the fact that we do this every week has, look, I could say I do one of these things every week with a team that's just awful. I can't imagine how miserable it would be, like the day before you do a show, to like dive into the all 22 and just go, I got to watch this crappy team every single week. And instead, not only is it so fun for me watching the Seahawks team play, but now I'm knee deep in draft prep, and I'm literally, my whole day's filled up with watching college kids. And it's such a great reminder when you're trying to sort guys out. And I'm literally using kind of a Seahawk lens of, okay, do these defensive linemen have knockback? Are they violent? Do they run to the ball? Like those things that make a great defense and what's making a great team can help inform your evaluation when you're watching college kids.
First of all, that's really cool. Second of all, they did send Belichick's game plan from the 1990 Super Bowl to Canton, the one that beat the Bills. That is part of the Belichick lore, is that game plan that shut down the K-gun offense was sent to Canton legitimately. So maybe that's where your guy got it. I don't know. That was 1990.
Well, ironically, the TCU offensive game plan against North Carolina last year was also sent to Canton because of what they're able to do.
How about that? All right. So there's a couple of Canton notes.
Salk didn't catch that one.
I have no idea what you're talking
TJ. That was pretty good.
I don't know.
TCU only put up 700 on Belichick's North Carolina.
I get it. I see.
His debut with Lawrence Taylor and Michael Jordan in attendance. That was tough.
It wasn't so good.
Didn't go well. All right, so you said you've been watching things through a Seahawks lens. Come back to the Seahawks D-line, because that's where it all starts for me. Yeah. What is it? What are they doing? Let me try to ask you this in a different way. How do the different styles of player, the types of players they have across their D-line, and we'll include the edges, how do they all work together to create the type of force that they've been?
Well, some of it's just flat out simple. I mean, you could take a picture before the ball snapped, and then you can take another picture from the sideline, a second and a half after the ball snapped, and they're resetting the line of scrimmage. All of them collectively are knocking back their one-on-one matchup. So they're resetting the line of scrimmage, and then they don't stop. So like there's, we talk about like refuse to stay blocked. You're going to get blocked. This is a National Football League. You're going to get blocked, but just refusing to stay blocked. So violently shedding, getting off blocks, and whether that's, using your quickness to do that, which you might see on the edges with someone like a Nwosu, or whether you're seeing somebody on the inside with, like Leonard with that violent hump, like Reggie White club move, where he's able to just get guys off of him. And then you got Byron Murphy, who does it by just simply leveraging underneath guys. And able to knock back, then create separation and get to the football, find the football.
Did they move those guys around during those? Like, if you're a guard facing the Seahawks, do you have to prepare for Leonard Williams and what he's going to do, and Byron Murphy and what he's going to do, and Jaron Reed and what do you have to prepare for all of those different things and kind of know what you're up against on every snap?
Yeah, I think to me, if you're trying to block these guys, even though they all have different sizes and different strengths, to me, the key is most times to offensive line, we're trying to create movement. We're trying to move guys off their spot and create movement. With the Seahawks, to me, you're much better off if you come with a mindset of we're just trying to stay attached. We're just trying to stay on him and wall him off so that our running back can try and navigate around him. But you're just nobody's been able to really knock these guys around. So I think you do that. What happens now, you end up losing your balance, and now you get nothing. You don't even have a body on these guys. So that would be, to me, a better approach. If we're just going to try and mirror and kind of just stay attached and try and wall them off.
DJ, a lot of conversation out of that locker room, and San Fran post-game whining about all the guys they didn't have, and it had been a landslide, and we had our people, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of the media members and a lot of their radio down there are saying that Mike McDonald owns Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if you saw this number or not. 160 some games Kyle has coached. He's had 4 where he has scored 7 or less in 67 games. 4. 2 of them happened in the last 3 weeks. So if you were to try to answer, why does Mike McDonald right now own Kyle Shanahan's offense? How would you define it?
Well, I would say another aspect of that is that offense, and if you trace it all the way back to all the different stops along the way, is not a play from behind offense. It's just not, because you don't have to honor the run game at all. So, to me, the way that you hold that offense down is you jump on them early, which they've been able to do. And, so, that's not just the defense. That's getting the kick return. That's, the offense trying to help you out a little bit, but never let them get in control of the game. I know the previous game was closer in San Francisco, but they were never – Kyle needs to get out to a lead. And once he gets out to a lead, it is very difficult to defend. When you keep them in neutral or you're up on them throughout the whole game, not the same. It's just not the same offense. So you add that's a part of it. I'm not saying that's the overwhelming part, but that's part of the equation. And then you just have guys up front where you can win up front with waves of guys. And when they can't get that going, when they can't get the ground game going to go along with that, it's the same thing. You make them one dimensional. It's not like the Rams. Like the Rams can play pure drop back football. They can let Stafford sit back there, drop back, try and sort your coverages and deliver the ball. That's not what Kyle does. So even though they come from the same lineage, it's different.
They're real whiny. I was really, really sad. Like the whining afterwards from the players was really like, oh, we were hurt. And like, really? Just shut up and go on vacation. Like take your loss. I don't like you lost. You talk trash beforehand. Fine. When you can't back it up, you don't get to say afterwards like, oh, but we were missing George Kittle. Like, whatever. Like, that's the NFL. Like, I can't believe I'm hearing that.
No, and it's every team that loses in the playoffs has a reason to point to injuries and all that.
When you lose by 35,
I just caught myself because I was going to chide you and say, look. You know what winners do? Winners don't worry about the team they just clobbered.
Right.
They're on to the next. They're irrelevant. You don't pay attention to it. But this is a guy who listens to Dodger talk every time they lose a baseball game. So I saw the plank in my own eye right there and decided I'm not going to go there.
When there's rivalry, you got to take a day or two and enjoy the demise of your rival. And I do think Mike is in Shanahan's head. I really do. I think he's clearly got something for Shanahan. And I think some of it has to do with the way he's taken Christian McCaffrey out of those games. I think if I'm watching it right, and you guys, both of you maybe would have a better sense of this than me, not just maybe, you would. He seems to really understand that McCaffrey's a receiver. And if you don't worry as much about what McCaffrey's going to do to you in the running game, but really focus on shutting down his role in the passing game, there's not that much else there to beat you. You can really take a lot of what they do away.
Well, I have to get Brock's take on this because he'd have a better answer than I would. But one of the keys to me when watching that offense and the different guys who run it is the ability to create separation in your levels. And if you can't stop the run with your front, now all of a sudden you're getting more body. So you have kind of that first level. Yep. Now there's no middle level, and then you have the third level, and then they carve you up in that void. And I think when you have a dominant defensive front, I was talking to a buddy with the Eagles this morning about just the teams that are left and how you win, and they won a Super Bowl last year. And it's like having those waves of dominant defensive linemen solves so many problems. And to me, that's one of the things against Shanahan. When you can maintain your integrity of the three levels on defense, it's a lot harder to throw into that stuff.
Yep. The only disappointment with your earlier answer in that one is you started to use names. Last hour, I said, I can't wait for DJ to talk about 0, 91,
I know.
99, right? Do you feel like you've got to use names?
Know the integrity
just
still
stick
there,
with what's got us here. Yeah, stick with what's got us here.
This number's still on there.
Now
figure after doing this show for 20 weeks, I've actually learned a couple of the names of these guys.
Yeah, impressive.
Speaking of numbers, how did the numbers do on the podcast last week? Did numbers okay on the podcast, or how'd we do? Did we do okay?
Yeah, according to David Singer, they did quite well. They did quite well, and I did tell him that as a reward for the great job he's doing booking this show, that I had a tea time for him available up in the Seattle area.
In Jackson, Jackson Muni. He played there on Thursday while you guys were gallivanting
south. By the way,
yeah.
How do we do?
Want to come
Not
up
great.
Sunday?
I mean, yeah. Do you enjoy playing in 2-3 inches full of mud? I don't. It's kind of up to you. Like, do you like mud when you're playing or no? Do you like after the round where you get to take like a wet towel and scrub down your shoes because they're just caked in dirt and mud?
I'll tell you, I don't have much time to play now. So I played about 2 weeks ago, and I went out and it was raining. This is a sad statement. This is probably a character flaw, but it was raining. I was playing with my good buddy and then 2 other guys, and I was wet. I was not playing great. And one of the other guys was Johnny 30 practice swings, and we got to the 8th hole. And I told my buddy, I said, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and head in. He goes,
we're done.
You're not gonna at least get to 9? I'm all, no, this is over. I'm done. I grabbed my bag, and I realized the other guy had paid for the round with a gift card. So I Venmo'd my friend $100. Said, hey, I feel bad to use the gift card for me only playing 8 holes of golf. But here's $100 and I'm out of here.
I'd rather spend $100
past the 9th hole on the way to go to my car.
All right. So you talked about the Rams and some of what they do better than the Niners, but I've been watching the Rams the last few weeks. They don't look the same. Are the Rams in trouble? Are the Rams still the Rams?
Well, their secondary played better against Chicago. It's hard to extrapolate too much out of that just because the conditions were what they were there. So I think in better weather conditions, I still think their secondary issues could kind of rear up a little bit, and that could be a problem for them. They were just able to get kind of key stops when they needed them, even though Chicago was moving the ball against them pretty well. But I think, offensive line wise, I think they'd much rather go forward than backward. And if you can get them, I think if you can get on them early, I do think that they're going to be able to exploit that group a little bit as well in pass protection. So I think the start of this game is going to be big. And Sam, what he's done, just kind of playing within himself, not trying to do too much, is the perfect formula for what they need to do. But I'm with you. I mean, this is not the peak of the Rams that we saw, but they're playing in such bad weather. It's hard to take too much out of that.
Well, that's been the other conversation, and we'll probably get to a little more at 9:30 today, Brock. But this idea of, what did Sam show? What did he prove? He won a big game. There's no doubt. I mean, he beat his in division rival, but he only threw 17 times. And other than the one throw to JSN, which was a dart and just unbelievable throw and catch, he really just nothing much was asked of him. So through no fault of his own, did Sam prove any of the doubters wrong on Saturday
You put
night?
a pelt on the wall or not?
Oh, I think it absolutely counts. I mean, I think it absolutely counts, but I think there's going to be more pressure on him this week, literally and figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, this is a huge one. I think this is one where, he's going to need to do more. He's going to need more than he did last week. But I also, going through that tape, I mean, there's 3rd and 10, hitting Bobo. There's finding Cooper Kupp on some key throws. So even wasn't a lot of volume.
Numbers, not names. Numbers.
Oh,
numbers,
sorry.
not names.
Sorry. Yeah, I do have.
Who did he hit?
Down here. Yeah, exactly. 10. I'll tell you what. 10 blocked his tail off in that game. By the way,
That's better.
He really did block his tail.
It's not a time to affect our process. Okay, we've stacked a lot of shows.
Stay with it.
Stay with it. We don't need names.
By the way, 22 did still look like the fastest guy on the field on every offensive snap. So I'm curious to see how they kind of get him some more touches going into this next one. But to answer your question, look, Sam's going to have to do more in this game. And I think he's fully capable of doing that. I just like the fact that you could kind of see, and the lead helped, but I never saw any jittery version of Sam in that game. There was never a moment where he looked busy or frenetic. Like he was very, very under control the whole time.
Last 2 years, we went through the list of all that John Schneider has done. Hawk Blogger in our market, put that together. I'm just kind of curious, not that you got to go through every name and every acquisition, but just the last 2 years to build now this team that's playing in the NFC Championship game Sunday. How did John and staff do it?
I really think, and it's something you've said before, of just they had such a clear vision of what they were looking for and what they wanted to be, when I had never heard the MOB thing until, you guys fill me in on that. So it makes so much sense now when you've got, and, this goes back to one of our first shows this year when you said, like, what was the takeaway? And I said, well, I think you've got a great culture when you're little guys, block and tackle, and when you're big guys, chase and finish. And that's how they've played the entire year. And I think it's a combination of the culture they've instilled with the coaching staff, but I also think they've went out and got guys like Lawrence. That's how he's always played. They've found guys who have that mentality and brought him in there and play that way. It's just, I can't tell you again, it's just so fun to watch them. It's so fun to watch them. The way they run to the ball late in the game in a blowout game, and you don't have your starters out there, and they still sprint to the football. So that's John. That's John's vision, and they made it come to life. It's again, it's fun to watch.
DJ, what do you got Sunday? You want to fly up Sunday?
I would love to, but I have to do. They asked me to do the pregame show, which is a several-hour affair. NFL Network, and then they wanted me to do the post. I'm trying to negotiate of one or the other, so I don't know which one I'm going to end up doing there.
Because quite honestly, everything you talk about with these guys on the field, as fun as it is to watch, and I love that. Salk and I have talked about that for years. Just a fun factor, whether it's individual or collective, what sport it is, it's just fun. Let me just tell you, that building, and I was texting with Rinaldi afterwards. He came on the show last week, and these folks that have been in so many amazing venues, DJ, this building and these fans, and now when they are connected to a team the way they are with this group, there's just not many sporting events in America like this one. I mean, it's just that the building is that
feels like
unique
an
and different.
avalanche. It just feels like once it gets started that everything builds. The noise just builds, the energy builds, and the play on the field kind of follows suit. That's what it looks like on TV, but I would love to experience it. There's nothing like it. I can just give you the one quick example on that. When I got a job with the Ravens in the early 2000s, 2003, and my brother, who's followed football forever, and my family said Charger season tickets forever. He's been to 1 million NFL games. I said, come out. I'm going to take you to the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Back when it was a little more loose in terms of your access, I got him a field pass, and I said, don't after pregame, don't just watch the first quarter on the field. With Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Hines Ward and Porter and those guys. And after the game, my brother's eyes were this big, and he said, I had no idea that's what that looks like. Cool. It's a little different than TV.
So cool. All right, so we're talking to Daniel Jeremiah as we do every Tuesday here, and worth mentioning because I know we do have some new people joining now that the Seahawks are where they are. MOB is mission over bull, and you could add another word to that if you want, or maybe just an ending to that word. But it's the idea of just paying attention to the mission as opposed to all the other noise and everything else that's out there. So just to kind of help some folks out who maybe are new to this. 4 teams left. I was looking at, you said you were talking to an Eagles guy about kind of what they had in common, or what do they have? I'm looking at defense. Sure seems to be the most common thread with these 4 teams, right? Isn't it defense?
Yeah, I was looking at something that there's 3 of them have one thing in common, and it's shocking to me on the 4th. I'm a huge sack differential guy. I've followed that for years. It's been a big indicator. Denver, number 1 in sacks, number 1 in sacks allowed. Rams, number 7 in sacks, number 2 in sacks allowed. Seahawks, number 8 in sacks, number 6 in sacks allowed. And then somehow New England, 26th in sacks and 23rd in sacks allowed. So they are the outlier of what this has traditionally looked like. It's hard to win in this league when you can't get to the quarterback or protect the quarterback. That's been something, again, it's line of scrimmage. It's been a line of scrimmage league. They have, and I don't know, again, you could say it's the schedule or how things have fallen for them, but they have not had to play the same way as most teams traditionally have to play to get to this point in the season.
And yet they're sitting here looking at beating Jarrett Stidham to get to the Super Bowl. Brock yesterday was kind of Denver positive. Is there hope for the Broncos fans out there?
I think so. To me, they have a great defense. They're going to play really, really fast. Drake May has had some fumbles the last couple weeks, so that's something to keep an eye on. This team can get to you and get the ball out, so that can create some short fields for Jarrett Stidham. I don't think you want him having to drive the length the whole time, but I think their defense can help in that regard. And, Sean's going to have every screen imaginable is going to be at his disposal in this game, and he's really, really good at drawing that stuff up. So they can manufacture some points.
Seahawks win Sunday. They play in Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. If they do what?
To me, I think it's just handle the first part of the game. Just handle the first part of the game. I think the longer this goes, I like the Seahawks in it. To me, you got to avoid somehow, McVay and Stafford just jumping on you right away. I don't think that Seattle wants to, to sit there and have to chase points all day long. I think if they can just kind of handle the game early on, I think they're the better team. I think they're the more rounded team, and I think they finish it off. But you just got to avoid what I think is going to be some big haymakers from the Rams early in this game.
It really was a dominant performance on Saturday night, wasn't it? I mean, like, just to come back to it for just 30 more seconds before we go, I can't quite let it go because it was that dominant.
35-point victory.
41-6. They just beat the Niners twice in a row and didn't allow a touchdown in either game.
Yeah, and it was a breeze. Like, it was never, they weren't even really getting challenged much. And the ball, they were just ripping the ball out. I saw real quick, and I know you got to run, but that stat on Indiana just winning the national championship, they hadn't fumbled since week 1. They went 15 weeks without fumbling. And I'm like, geez, I just got up and watched the Seahawks and finished the defense this morning, and I felt like it was a fumble on every other play.
The great Daniel Jeremiah, who joins us every Tuesday at 8:30, and the video is up at YouTube, of course, as well. All right, Brock is in next. We got a ton of guests today. Joel Klatt at 7:30. I think hoping for Jeff Saturday later this morning as well. Shannon Drayer is going to be with us. Curt Menefee is going to be with us. Stick around. It's all coming up on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
The team that got rid of Pete Carroll, let Geno go, DK is out of here, lots of moving parts, are playing to go to the Super Bowl. No one thought this was going down like this. I didn't see this happening for this ball club. It's been the best transition in the league in the past couple of years. No other team has made the major moves that this team has made and gotten to this point.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
At Chain Company, we've been engagement ring experts for almost 100 years. We have the largest selection of diamonds and gemstones in stock. You don't have to wait to compare them side by side. Find the one that speaks to you at shaneco.com or in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Chick-fil-A's new frosted sodas and floats. It's a 10 out of 10. Hey, this is Lizzie, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You will love having your favorite soda blended with our creamy ice stream to make a new frosted soda or float. With the mix of the ice stream and soda fizz, it's so delicious, I call it Fizzalicious.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Morning, Brock.
Hey, good morning, Michael. You know what we would be doing today if our Seahawks were not playing in the NFC Championship game? We would be starting our show with Mel Kiper's mock draft.
Oh, we would? I started the show an hour ago with the Mariners. There was tons of cool sound from Naylor, Josh Naylor, and Rob Refsnyder. Yeah, I started Marin. We talked Felix. Like, there's actually a lot of meat on that bone, and Felix with a tremendous jump up 26% or so in the voting, which is historic, and gets to 46% in the Hall of Fame voting yesterday. He's probably going to get in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like almost not guaranteed, but I would think sometime in the next 2-3 years, you're looking at Felix Hernandez as a member of the Hall of Fame, which is awesome and well-deserved.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. And pretty cool that we don't have to talk about the mock draft today.
Yeah.
And pretty cool to see the Seahawks picking 32nd, according to Mel Kiper. So I hope Mel is
hope he's right.
Pronunciations are right. Yeah, I hope we got the dead last pick in the first round. That means Sunday afternoon and late afternoon for the 4th time and 4 tries when the NFC title game is in Seattle. The boys, the hometown boys, take care of business. So that would be pretty darn fun.
Maura, you said over the holidays when you were with your family, you won a game of Trivial Pursuit, and you offered me a little bit of an assist, right? For It's the Economy, Stupid, right? Being the...
Yeah, you brought that up with a Seahawks reference about a month before.
Okay, what was the reference? What was I saying? It was this stupid. What was I saying? You don't remember that?
Just to get more run the ball. Stupid. If you want to run the
It wasn't offensive line. It's the offensive line, stupid.
Ooh.
I feel like it might have been, but I'd like to amend it.
I think it is. I think it was. I think it was the offensive line.
I think it was too. And we were just talking about the offense, but I'd like to amend that. It's the line of scrimmage, stupid. Like, just keep coming. It's so easy to get sidetracked. Quarterback obviously is right there. I mean, like, let's not pretend like that's not still always there. But that's one person, right? You get the quarterback right. But it's the offensive line. It's the defensive line. It's the line of scrimmage, stupid. Like, don't get caught thinking about other things. They're relevant. They matter. You want to have them around. but it's always the economy, and it's always the line of scrimmage.
And
if
it's
you
always
could,
pitching.
it's
always bigs.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I don't know if it's still bigs anymore. I don't know what's going on in the NBA, but these things, Matt, like, it is so easy to be like, oh, well, we got a hole here, a corner. Oh, well, we got to figure out, we got to pay this wide receiver. Oh, this running back is hurt, so now we got to pay this other running back. And I know that conversation has come up with Zach Charbonnet's injury. And, like, you still have to have all those debates and all the, this safety, do we want to pay him to do this, that, and the, yeah, all right. Like, you got to have those debates because a team and a roster is 70 deep. And Mike McDonald has been adamant about this, and he's right. But we really shouldn't, and it's funny to me that so many executives and coaches and people around the league do get distracted from what really moves the needle, the big gears, not the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And the big gears are the big fellas up front, man, on both sides of the ball. Just have the offensive and defensive lines be dominant forces, and you can do almost anything else you need to do in the NFL.
Yep, and actually, for a league that will typically copycat and buy into, I think some of that flash and panache and style and all that stuff. Salk, it has been that way. Maybe it's these younger GMs, maybe it's the analytics folks, maybe it's these front offices have gotten smarter and younger around the league. But that's been the nuts and bolts of the last couple of years' drafts. Certainly the nuts and bolts here in Seattle. Certainly the nuts and bolts with Les Snead and Sean McVay down in L.A. Certainly some of the nuts and bolts with the Denver Broncos, who have the most expensive offensive line and have, invested a ton of first-round picks and free agent money in their defensive line. In New England, oh, by the way, their starting left tackle was top 10 pick. Their left guard was a third-round pick, and they spent big money on the D tackle, pulling him away from Philadelphia. So I think you can see, I'm not going to say through line today. I'm not going to do it. I did it 4 times yesterday. All right, got to come up with new flight hours. I got to come up with a new term today. But if you see a tie-in between all 4 of these teams, stupid, it is the line of scrimmage, and that's why they're here. It was fun last night. We had a little coaches clinic, Salk, with all the coaches at the school, head coaches, assistant coaches. You might not be surprised that I gravitated towards the hockey coach.
Oh,
this guy is a legend.
Really?
And yes, a legend in the state. His teams continually and consistently win state titles. He sounds like a hockey guy. He looks like a hockey guy. He's an old Canadian guy.
You going to bring him to Arvada in a couple of weeks?
Oh, well, possibly. I think they're a little bit busy in season 2, but possibly. George. And I was chatting with George, and he was talking football and asking questions about the title game and the Broncos and the Seahawks. And I said, hey, George, I'm kind of curious about the NHL and hockey and maybe the minors and the juniors and all of it. Have they legislated violence out of the game? Because it's pretty cool. Like the college game, Monday night was the most violent college national championship game I can remember in 20 years. I mean, it was physical. It was pro style. It was big men. It was bloodied. It was bruised. It was like, yeah, you could try to limit our 2-a-days. Yeah, limit our scrimmaging, limit this and limit that. But you know what? Push comes to shove, stupid. It's a line of scrimmage game with 2 head coaches that believe totally and completely first and foremost in the line of scrimmage from Nick Saban's background. And then the NFL right now, like these Seahawks hit, and man, do they hit. And the Broncos fly around. And you know what? That Rams front, those guys are ferocious. And I was like, it's funny because the NFL has tried to do that, and college football has gone that path. And yet, you know what's really neat? This year in particular, I can't remember a more physical season, and certainly with the combatants left at the end. And it kind of got his mind going, and he was talking about hockey, and yeah, the rules have definitely changed, and you can't get away with slamming guys into the wall and, from behind, and,
But you could still hit. I mean, like, they haven't taken the violence out. They've taken the cheap shots out.
Yep.
You still hit. Just the way you can in football. And the Seahawks have proven it certainly over the course of the year. But I just come away so impressed with their, both sides of the line of scrimmage, but especially that defensive line. We asked DJ about them yesterday specifically.
Well, some of it's just flat out simple. I mean, you could take a picture before the ball snapped, and then you can take another picture from the sideline, a second and a half after the ball snapped, and they're resetting the line of scrimmage. All of them collectively are knocking back their one-on-one matchup. So they're resetting the line of scrimmage, and then they don't stop. So, like, there's we talk about like refuse to stay blocked. You're going to get blocked. This is a National Football League. You're going to get blocked, but just refusing to stay blocked. So violently shedding, getting off blocks, and whether that's, using your quickness to do that, which you might see on the edges with someone like a Nwosu, or whether you're seeing somebody on the inside with, like Leonard with that violent hump, like Reggie White club move where he's able to just get guys off of him. And then you got Byron Murphy, who does it by just simply leveraging underneath guys and able to knock back, then create separation and get to the football, find the football.
Think about how different that is than those years with Coach K sitting next to us there, where Coach K is like, I don't know what you want them to do. So like, it's a wave, it's a wave of people getting thrown into the lap of the linebackers and the whole dependency conversation, right? Those guys up front, man, they're not dependent on the linebackers, not in the run game and safeties and all of it. Like, they're dependent on doing what DJ said right there themselves, to blow up and obliterate and puncture the line of scrimmage. And this group has done it in ways that I think, there's debates to be had. There's 2 games to play. There's a trophy still to lift. But there's a real strong conversation to me that this group up front is better than that LOB era. I said that 6, 7, 8 weeks ago in one of my post little game videos. Like, we're getting real close here, folks. We're getting real.
What they're doing at the line of scrimmage is really insane. And then obviously you add in Eamon Worry and the safeties and the line. Like, everybody contributes. It's not to take anything away from those guys. And Sean McVay, if you want to beat this offense, you're going to have to use Eamon Worry and all the different ways they do to deal with their 13 person. Okay, I get it. But you don't have a line of scrimmage. You don't have anything. What did I say, Maura? You found it. What did I say a couple of weeks ago that you?
So it had nothing to do with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
It's the pitching, stupid.
Oh, okay,
that's how
good.
this team is built, and that's why they're contenders
All
for
right,
the Mariners.
Good. Well, so then I don't even need to edit. It's not the line. It's not the offensive line, stupid. It's the line of scrimmage, stupid. I'm not editing. I'm sticking with what I'm saying, and we'll give you everything you need to know next.
Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Well, if you resolved in 2026 to get in the best shape of your life, my friends over at Top Fitness, they're your stop. We're 3 weeks into the new year, and if you haven't seen the results yet and the consistency, then get into Top Fitness. Their stores are celebrating this new year with some great deals, and you can take those resolutions seriously with the best fitness gear there is. I'm talking about brands like Precor, True, Octane, Inspire, and Hyrox. Come in now and check out the deal of all deals on treadmills, the Precor 885 treadmill. They got lease returns. They normally sell for over $13,000 now. Can be yours for $36.99, and that includes a full 3-year warranty. And yes, those are the same commercial treadmills you'll see in health clubs worldwide. And every new treadmill, elliptical, and home gym, they're all on sale with the largest selection of home fitness equipment in the state. Have their staff show you why. It's no secret that everybody from personal trainers to pro athletes simply love their stores. They've got locations up in Tukwila and Linwood. Go see them in Bellevue or visit topfitness.com for all of the info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Toyota of Kirkland is celebrating the new year with an inventory sale down on all remaining 2025 inventory. Start the new year with a new car at a great price at Toyota of Kirkland. 2025 RAV4s, Tacomas, Corollas, and more. Visit the incredible showroom and wonderful staff at Toyota of Kirkland to check out one of these 2025 models today. You can book a test drive and head home in that new car the very same day. It's an inventory sale down at Toyota of Kirkland. Visit them in person or shop online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien. Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect
permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not so wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at BigTreeSupply.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Win and you get rewarded with a whole lot of honors, Brock. And yesterday, the Pro Football Writers announced a bunch of their honorees. Seahawks, 5 players on the All-NFC team, most in the conference. JSN, Leonard Williams, Devin Witherspoon, Rashid Shaheed, and Michael Dixon, all deserving. And then JSN and Williams were both all NFL players as well. Nicky Manwari, Gray Zabel, both named to the All-Rookie team. This is there's just a lot of talent here right now, too.
You know what's unique about that a little bit is Ernest Jones. You see with some, and I think Bill Barnwell, and certainly the writers that put together the All-Pro teams, which to me, with all of these different awards, the All-Pro is probably the one that has the most cachet. He was second-team All-Pro, and yet not on some of these other lists. Again, I think somewhat of those, like, dependent. Am I looking at total tackles? A little bit like Bobby through all of those years, right? If you look at just totality, but for him, it's the takeaways. Like, he is so keen to the ball. There's faster linebackers, there's bigger linebackers, there's more demonstrative linebackers. But there's not really many that have, I think, a sense for the ball the way that this guy, gosh, Pete would have loved him. Pete would have loved
You think so?
Jones. Oh, I know so. Yeah. Personality-wise, style-wise, charisma-wise.
Certainly personality-wise.
And then certainly ball hawking-wise. He's a difference maker.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, so Sean McVay talks to the media yesterday, Brock, asked about the Seahawks and their versatility, and I thought he had some reverence for what they're doing.
They have vision for players that are these jokers that allow you to basically be able to be stout enough against the run, but still really good in coverage, where a lot of the explosives come up. And so they're a group that can play a so-called lighter grouping because they go draft guys that they have a vision for. And Nick has done a hell of a job being able to basically play. I mean, he's playing outside linebacker for him. He's playing safety. He's playing star. He's playing the dime money spot. They move him all around, and they can be a nickel, but they can basically present a bunch of different base structures because of his versatility, and they've got guys like that across their front. Ernest has done a great job in the middle where he's really productive in both phases. The one thing about them is that they've got a vision for guys, and they can be stout against the run versus what they would say is typically most people would just look at it and say it's a lighter grouping, but they are really able to impose their will and dictate the terms because of players like Emmanuel, and what he's done for them.
All those jokers.
Jokers. In between Kyle Hamilton and Nicky Manwari, do you know what the league is going to try to find in this draft and in this combine and at this Senior Bowl?
Versatile safeties.
Yeah, that next guy, that next tweener. Oh, is he a safety? Is he a nickel? Is he a corner? I don't
The Rams have one of those guys a while ago, Mark
They
something.
They did. He was, was it Roll? Was it one of the Roll brothers?
No.
No. Mark.
You were obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Barron?
Mark Barron.
Right,
Look
Mark
at that.
Barron.
Way to go,
Teamwork.
team. Way to go, Brock.
Teamwork. Makes the
Mark
dream
Barron.
work.
They did. And you know what Mark Barron couldn't do? Run like Nicky Manwari.
No.
Now, on Monday, you didn't let me get to this in one of my Blue 88s or takeaways because it was just an uber positive day. But do you know who did not play his best football last Saturday night?
I do.
Nicky Manwari.
Yeah.
If there was one guy, and PFF noticed that, and he got a pretty low grade. If there was one guy that was just playing so fast and out of his mind, if there was one guy that Purdy put in a blender 2 or 3 times with his scrambles and his movement, it was Nick either losing his man, losing some of his own integrity because he was so itchy, which is a great thing, a great quality to have. But yeah, I would expect the Rams and old Stafford to try to look him off, to try to move him, to try to get him a little bit out of sorts as well.
Coaching stuff, Brock. Mike McDaniel turned down the Browns as the head coach. Didn't want to do it. It's like, no, I'll be the OC with the Chargers.
Can't wear capri pants in Cleveland.
Also,
Can't do it.
Don't you think that there's an element of he's getting paid either way, offset-wise, so he can be an OC for the same amount of money. Why bother taking a bad job?
Chip Kelly got 3 years and $18 million to be the OC in Vegas.
Right. Yeah, good point. Yeah,
I
don't think that's an issue for him, which works out really well. It also means, though, that Clint Kubiak is still out there, and Field Yates had a lot of thoughts yesterday on him potentially moving on. So just because Atlanta is done,
Baltimore's
still
the watch.
going to stick out there.
Old Gary Kubiak left a lot of positive impressions with his years there in Baltimore.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, Mariners avoided arbitration with Bryce Miller, which was the last guy left. So that's good news. 1-year deal with a team option for next season, 2027. That would be voided if he finishes in the top 5 in Cy Young voting, so he would have a chance to renegotiate. Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, both outfielders are going to go to Cooperstown this summer. Brock, they'll both be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. I mean, the numbers are pretty good. Beltran, one of only 4 players with 2,700 hits, 400 home runs, 300 steals. The others are Bonds, Mays, and A-Rod. So, yeah. Jones, the defense is just insane. 10 Gold Gloves in 17 years. Still hit 435 home runs. I didn't realize he'd hit that many home runs. I just assumed that he's a Hall of Famer because he was one of the best to do it during that time. But those numbers are pretty impressive. And the big mover, Felix. He goes from 20.6 to 46.1%, so he doesn't get in. This was his second year of eligibility, but that is the largest jump of any candidate since 1967.
Why?
I don't know why. I mean, I'm guessing it has something to do with who else is on the ballot, and that you people start looking at the candidacy. You get to 20, right? And the first one, and people go, oh, maybe I should look a little bit more seriously at Felix. And then they do, and then that number doubles. And I would guess over the next couple of years, he ends up getting the 75, which is awesome. Felix deserves it. One of the dominant pitchers of his generation.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious why that jump so much. Was there a narrative out there? Was he in the news a little bit more? Was it just this class? Did you see Lyle? Lyle was not happy last night. I don't want to take his trash
of Luis
take.
Robert?
No, not because of Luis.
Is Luis Robert's going to be a Met?
Because somebody voted for Rick Porcello.
No, save it for later.
Yeah, that's later. I did see that. That's ridiculous. Felix, one of the dominant players of his generation.
That would not win trash takes.
I don't care. It may or may not get used.
That's everything you need to know.
By the way, while we're sitting and talking about the Hall of Fame, I don't know where this is going to fit in today, but as usual, I have my gripes every year, but especially with this one.
Yeah.
Why is Carlos Beltran in and Barry Bonds isn't?
Well, because of the steroids.
Carlos Beltran helped ringlead and was an integral part of a trash can sign stealing scandal. Why is that look past and Bonds?
Because of the steroids.
Again, you both cheated.
Lyle, the integrity of the game.
And banging trash cans is just looked past?
It's not looked past. It's probably what kept him out for a couple of years, but it's not the same as Barry Bonds. It's not. It isn't. You know it's not. You're making an argument, and I appreciate the argument. And it's not that, it's not a big deal, but it's not the same as Bonds, and you know that.
I honestly don't know what the
Then
difference
it's because
is.
you didn't really live through Bonds. I'm serious.
Bonds is the greatest hitter ever.
I'm not disagreeing with you. He is, and I think he should be in, and I think A-Rod should be in, and I think Manny should be in, and I think McGuire should be in. I think all those guys should be in. The Astros story was big for a couple weeks.
A couple years.
Few years.
Not the same way. Not the same way the Bonds McGuire story.
No, that was decades.
the biggest story in
decades.
sports for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just not the same. I appreciate the thought. It's not the same. Joe Klatt's next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Man, luxury has arrived, and it's so close. The all-new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Been open since August. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming space, and then, the breathtaking views of the Cascades. You can watch every game at Hawks Peak, including this Sunday afternoon. More than 66 televisions, a heated outdoor deck. It's pretty awesome. 2,000-seat entertainment venue now, and some new dining options as well. Effortless style, utmost relaxation, all the fun that comes with watching games at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Book now at snocasino.com.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Ink card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hot Tub. It's our clearance savings spectacular, and you don't want to miss it. We're slashing prices on all 2025 hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models ready for delivery. And here's the best part. 0% interest financing through 2031. That's right. No interest for 5 years. Ends January 25th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey Hawk fans, Jake Bowo. Stormy weather is here. How's your roof holding up? Give Techline Roofing a call. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline has you covered. That's Tekline, roofing.com. Trust Techline.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. For service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Right now, save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same-as-cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, good to have Joel Klatt with us today, as we do every Wednesday, Brock. And it's been great to continue this here now through the playoffs as the Seahawks get another win Saturday night and get ready for the NFC Championship game. You guys all know this already. Of course, 3:30 Sunday afternoon. Joel, good morning. Are we getting ready to tee off again today? Where do we find ourselves today?
Yeah, it's just a little colder outside, so I didn't want to get my hands cold, so I'm sitting inside this time.
All right, well, that's too bad. I enjoyed the.
It's the off season for me. It's,
now that the championship game's over, you kind of do whatever.
Well, good news is next year the championship game is January 25th. It'll be January.
Goodness gracious, college football. What are we doing?
Should they do it in the off week, the NFL off week before the Super Bowl?
No, they should do it January 1st. We concluded January 1st for 100 years, Salk.
I know, but now that they don't do that anymore, they might, like, if you're going to go to mid to late January.
We need to go back. There's no reason to take all the breaks that we take. We need to go back. Play the playoff in December.
Sweet.
Stay out of the NFL playoffs. The NFL playoffs suck all the oxygen out of the room. We're playing a championship game on a Monday night. How stupid. So dumb.
I mean, I agree with you 100% on that. And how would you feel quickly? And we're going to talk mostly Seahawks here, but how would you feel if they went back to the old bowl system? Forget the playoffs. Forget all of it. Just have the Bolts
No,
at the
I
end
don't want
vote.
that. I mean, I think that was even worse, to be honest with you. I love the playoff system. I just wish that we had a destination. We have a national championship. It's like, great. We crowned a national champion in women's platform diving as well. Like, why are we calling it the same thing? Like every other major sport, we have a destination, a tentpole event. It's the World Series, it's the NBA Finals, it's the Stanley Cup, it's the Super Bowl. And then we just play like a national championship in college football. I think that the national championship should be the Rose Bowl. I think it should be at the Rose Bowl every year. I think it should be on January 1st because it's the most iconic venue that we have in sports, and we can own it as a college football community. It could be a tent pole. It can be a run for the roses every single year. That, to me, elevates the sport versus what we do. We stick it in these corporate environments on a Monday night. It doesn't get the ratings that it deserves. We're falling short on ratings by 10, 12, 15 million viewers just because the powers that be have no clue how to do a schedule and actually conclude the sport in any feasible way.
The concourses are so small at the Rose Bowl, Joel. And
I don't care. I don't care at all.
To get in and out of there, Joel. And I got a tailgate on a golf course, Joel, and there's no suites.
I heard. I don't even want to say it's a commissioner, but it might be a commissioner. Say, well, it's really tough to get from the field up to the suites.
Yeah.
Talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's, all good points. All right, let's get to the Seahawks because we're pretty obsessed here at the moment in Seattle. People are pretty invested. Did you get to watch Saturday night? And if so, what'd you see?
Time out. Normally, I get to this point in the season. All of us, we get to this point, the Royal We's, and I think it's a coin flip for any of the four teams to win it all, right? Like, you get to this point in the season, and yeah, you'd love to have home field, but man, like, I got to tell you guys, I don't remember a year that I felt like a single team was this much better than the other three in a long time. I can't remember the last time I felt this way. Maybe the undefeated Patriots, but like, I might be selling the Rams short. And I know that they played a great game a couple of times against Seattle during the course of the year. But the way Seattle's playing now, New England and Denver aren't going to beat them. Certainly with Jared Stidham. Oh, gross. Like, I'm sorry, Stidham, but like, Denver is in a bad way. And so, Salk, like, have you guys ever felt better at this position in the season?
If it was the Bears coming in here, maybe if Ben Johnson would have actually ran Caleb at 1st and 10 at midfield 4 different times and kicked a field goal and win, and if it was the Bears coming in here, Joel, I think I would. The challenge is Matthew Stafford is the MVP. Sean McVay is the equivalent of McDonald on the other side. That front has caused some issues. Their O-line is the only group that has blocked Seattle in a capable way. So this is the one team, the one matchup, and all the next level numbers tell you the same thing, the DVOAs and the efficiencies and all of that. Yeah, this is the one team that doesn't scare me. If they both play their games, Seattle, I think, is better, more well-rounded, more rested, all of it. But the Rams are, I don't know. I watched Stafford throw for 500 yards and run, just 3 weeks ago in the building and no look in ways I've never seen a human quarterback do in person. He looked like a video game. So my eyes are trying to unsee that.
Sure.
They had their way with the Seahawks really in a way that nobody else has this season, Joel.
I appreciate that. There's no doubt. And what I can't get out of my mind is that they escape the Panthers and the Bears. You know what I mean? Like, it's and meanwhile, Seattle is just beating down their opponents, and in particular, San Francisco. I mean, that was incredible. The kickoff return, that was wild, man. I actually felt for KB and Tom a little bit because, as you know, Brock, that's kind of the last thing you want in the booth. You want a great game. Like, you need some road success early in the game to kind of keep it you get the home game, and it's like, it's fun in the moment, but then you're like, well, this isn't going to be a dud. And it kind of turned out to be that way.
It was like an early 90s Super Bowl. Like, it was just like, oh, this thing is over and good luck. I was thinking about what you just said.
That was a shot at me. That was you might not have even known it, but I'm, grew up in Denver. It's like, I get it. Yeah. 3 out of 4 years. Denver,
Broncos,
55-10 against
Chargers,
it was
Steelers,
like the Broncos against 49ers,
Patriots. There's a lot of teams that went through that. I was actually thinking about what you just said and what Brock answered on the Rams, and I think you're both right. Just thinking about the Seahawks are clearly, just looking at the 4 teams and how they're playing, they are playing much better and are a better team than the other 3. The argument that Brock is making is just matchup, and that even if the Seahawks are a much better team, for whatever reason, the Rams seem to match up pretty well against them. So, it's a funky spot where you're like, this team's better. They should just go out and whoop them because they're more talented and they're playing better football and they're better. The coaching is amazing. The depth is incredible. The health has been tremendous. It's just, how much does matchup matter over talent and how well you're playing?
Yeah, I think it matters a lot in the NFL. There's no doubt. This is the only team that I think I would have any amount of pause. If I was Seattle, I think that they're substantially better than almost everybody else. But Stafford gives you that, and in particular, it's McVay's willingness to sit in there with 12 and 13 personnel, Brock, and run the football and run duo. And Corum does a nice job, and like, they will keep you honest enough, and then all of a sudden you've got a Hall of Famer who's playing at an MVP level. And he's throwing to Puka Nacua, and he's got, Devontae Adams. So they've got enough to keep you honest as a defense. This is one of the things that makes Seattle so great, is that Seattle can put you into a position where they know what you need to do and want to do. Obvious down situation. And then they thrive in those obvious down situations. Whereas I think that the Rams can do a good job of staying balanced regardless of those situations because of McVay's willingness to run the football, his willingness to use run action pass, not necessarily just play action, although he'll use that, but the run action, getting Stafford on the move out of the pocket. That neutralizes the pass rush a little bit, which has been very good for Seattle. Like you said, Brock, it allows them, it helps them from a schematic standpoint block that front rather than just sit there and sit in drop back all day long. They're moving the launch point in the pocket, and all of those different things can help slow down the rush. So matchup certainly matters. I still favor Seattle in this game. I really do. I think that it's going to be incumbent on Seattle to control the game at the line of scrimmage on the offensive side, keep Sam into a situation where he's not throwing in obvious down situations. And if they can do that, then they should win the game. Again, like, they are a better team than the Rams. The Rams have a better quarterback. Okay. And then we all say, like, well, okay. So unless Stafford goes out there and puts up another 400 or 500 bills, I still like Seattle.
Joel, you are a rotational athlete. You still are. I've watched you work out. You're a man, and you swung a baseball bat, and you threw a football, and now you swing a golf club. Have you ever had an oblique?
I have.
Did you
debilitating?
You see any remnant of that last week with Sam?
No. It has to be minor.
Okay.
It has to be minor. Because if you've got like a I don't want to say real, but like, or they're giving him the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Maybe both are true.
Maybe both are true. That's a good point, Salk. I tell you what, you have
I'm on it today.
He's on his game.
Brought your A game.
Yep.
Yeah, Mora was out of town last week, Joel. When Mora goes out of town, Joel Salk is just. It's like a QB and an OC. Like the OC is sick. He has stroke. Something happened. And, the tight end coach gets elevated to play calling. It happens.
Right to a stroke?
Sure, he has a stroke. So, you got a temporary offensive play caller.
You never know, Salk.
That's true. You got to be prepared for everything.
It's a stressful position to be in. You never know what can happen.
I lost my bet in Vegas. I thought Tom Moore was going to die on the field. So he's stepping away. He's taking care of Winnie. Yeah, I would have lost that bet. But anywho, Salk is on his P's and Q's now. We're all dialed in. It's title week. You did not see
think that
you didn't see any remnant.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I
you
did
see
not. The first hit, he took a hit on a little screen that K9 didn't help, and the safety sacked him, and he got up, and I was like, oh, here's a moment of truth, right? Because you can take that shot, you can feel good. Here's a moment of truth. And then the very next play, they put JSN in the backfield. They run a little flood. JSN's a little hold route, and he throws a 19-yard dart to Cooper Kupp on the sideline. I was like, oh, yeah, he's all right.
I think that there's two different things going on. And this is a great framing. I love your perspective on this. There is pain that hurts you from a functional standpoint, which normally a severe oblique would hurt you from a functional standpoint. Like, I cannot throw the ball that I want to throw in this situation. And then there is pain that is not hurting your functional ability, and therefore it becomes just an element of, I hate to say it this way, but like grit and courage. Can you fight through that pain? So, okay, it's going to hurt when I get hit. So what, right? Like, I don't know. Now, granted, I played the game like a clown with sand in the bottom, like just got wrecked. And I would just bounce back up and be like, hit me again, boys. I can't run. But like you're gonna have to have some of that. So if it's gonna hurt him when he gets hit, it's like, great, it's championship game weekend and figure it out. But functionally, I didn't see it affect his game. So I don't care if he winces or what happens when he gets hit. He needs to be able to just drop back and throw that ball that you talked about. And in particular, by the way, when he was rolling to his left and he threw that touchdown. Or kind of sliding to his left, I guess you could say. It was more like on a shuffle and sliding and buying time. That was not an easy throw. That was a tight window throw, back corner, anticipatory, right window. And when he made that throw, I was like, he's totally fine, functionally.
So after that game, you now trust Sam Darnold on Sunday?
I mean, let's not jump to conclusions here. Like, this is, remember that, what movie was that? It's a jump to conclusions.
That would be
Matt.
Office Space. Yeah.
Office Space. There you go.
Some friends of mine actually ran into that guy, that actor, in a bar in LA and said, hey, it's a jump. And he answered it right away. He was like, two conclusions, Matt.
Well,
now,
you found
there's different conclusions that you can jump to.
Yes. It's incredible. What an incredible movie.
It is.
Yes.
One of my favorites. All right. So still not all the way there with. So you're like me. He played a great game, but he wasn't really asked to do all the things that are going to lead to trust.
There were no whammies. No whammies. Not even close to a whammy. Not even close to it.
He threw it 17 times. Like, he just wasn't asked to do
granted,
that much.
man, listen, if you even think about putting the ball in harm's way after your team takes the opening kickoff back, then like someone needs to. I mean,
it's like being on base with Ricky Henderson.
Stage an intervention.
Yes.
It's like being in the batter's box with Ricky Henderson over there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just like he would have walked over if he threw a pick after the way that game started. Mike McDonald would have been like, it's like Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own. Like, you remember that? It's like the juice is dripping up. We'll just do movie references the rest of the day, guys. Let's just
old ones too that Lyle's never heard of.
Old 90s movies and go. Everyone will love it.
All right, so you're kind of with me where he played really well. Credit where it's due, but just not a tremendous amount asked. So let me.
I think, listen, Sam is going to have to go win the Super Bowl for us to be like, okay, we're done with all the questions. We're done with all the questions.
I think if he has a great game Sunday, he could do that. Like, if he has a great game, beats the Rams, he throws for a ton of yards, like they need him, I think he could erase all those questions this weekend.
That's a great point. And for who he will likely be playing, listen, I think New England's going to beat Denver with the Stidham-Bo Nix issue. But, like, do I trust Sam Darnold over either quarterback he would possibly face in the AFC? Yes. So if he wins this game, to your point, then we can jump to conclusions and we can get a real trust game going. We'll just have an absolute blind trust fall into Sam Darnold's face.
Yeah. We'll have a case of the Mondays when we all come in on Monday after that. All right.
That's right.
So have you ever seen this? Bo Nix story is so weird. It is one of the weird. I cannot recall a story quite like the Bo Nix thing, where he looks totally fine. Everyone in the world thinks he's fine. And then, like, an hour later, it comes out, oh, no, he's actually out for the season. What the heck?
So
Like,
are
what is
you
going on
a
there?
conspiracy theorist? Or
Sure.
Are you he broke it celebrating? Don't say sure. You have to be one or the other. This is not a sure proposition. You either believe he
Salk
broke it in the locker room.
Salk didn't even think about that.
I hadn't heard that. That's the theory?
Oh, you guys haven't heard that theory?
Well, no, but I like it.
No.
Oh, I thought you had heard the conspiracy theories that there was an accident.
There we go.
In the locker room in the celebration.
Yeah, that makes sense. I buy that. I buy that 100%.
Look at him. He went right there. He just took it.
I mean,
He just
it doesn't
took
even
Brock.
surprise. Yeah, like I'm actually kind of mad at myself for not assuming that to begin with. Of
Joel,
course, that's what happened.
I've said for years he's a halibut. Okay, halibut are bottom feeders. They sit on the ocean floor, and if you just chum them the right way and you bang that bait
They're
right
just
on
like,
their forehead,
Yeah.
they just
I'm in.
inhale it.
Lyle, you in on that? You should be in on that story, right? Are you in on that?
Am I in on that? No, of course not.
Really?
Of course not. No, you could see him. He got up and immediately limped after the. I mean, it wasn't a pronounced limp. I'll give you that.
Could
but
he have
immediately you could tell
exaggerated it?
something was off.
Exaggerated?
Yeah, he exaggerated
the...
right after he ran the sweep on the left.
No.
He
Could
exaggerated.
he have like
"You know
hurt it
what?
worse? I mean, in the locker room, could the injury have gotten worse in a celebration?
So now you're jumping to the conclusion that he heard it a little bit on the field and then decided to go and do cartwheels and somersaults and jump on a helmet in the locker room.
Yeah, that.
I think you're jumping a little too far here. You
Huh? Showing off my my leaping ability. All right, well, then,
I'm concerned for Bo moving forward because this seems to be now a pattern, and the concern for me is that when you see the injury, I think it's fairly nondescript, and when you start getting those injuries in the same spots, and it's not like for instance, it's one thing if a 300-pounder lands on your foot and everyone's like, oh, dang, like that's just kind of the way it goes, but it wasn't really like that. And when you start having those barely non-contact injuries in the same spot, I get nervous about the longevity aspect. And in particular, in a second year, which a lot of us that are Denver fans, I think we would rate Bo Nix's second year in the NFL as an A+.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it perfect? No, but look where he's put them, and so I think that's the scary part for Bronco fans.
Yeah, it reminds me of my college roommate Jeff. His poor sister Jen had a horse accident and sprained her ankle, and then she just sprained her ankles all the time. So poor thing had to wear ankle braces.
we got a text here saying with Bo Nix's age, are we completely ruling out osteoporosis?
Wow. Wait,
Okay, I got to get serious. We got to get back on. Get on back on track.
You can't bring up a horse accident and ankle braces for the rest of her life and then just be like, no, we can't touch on that.
Poor Jan.
Who
Poor
was
Jan's,
this?
Poor Jan right now is wearing ankle braces wherever she's at.
No.
Poor thing. So anywho, she had very weak ankles. Anyway, back to the Seahawks. I asked DJ this yesterday. I'm going to ask every guest. We're going to have Mr. Burkhardt.
He's smarter
on.
than me. Whatever he said, I concur.
We're going to have Jeff Saturday next hour. He's going to be on.
I don't know about him. I concur with DJ.
Okay, we'll see how close your answer resembles his. The Seahawks win the NFC title Sunday night if they do what in particular?
That's a really good one. If they are great first down rush defense, they win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds right to me. I like that. Yeah, because then you put him in so many other binds right after that. So
now you can't get into the run action pass game. You're in drop back. You're forcing them to be where you expect them to be in the launch point. I think conversely on the other side, to me, this is a first down game, not a third down game. I think that each offense will build themselves into success or lack of success on third down based on what happens on first down in particular and how many times you can run the football and stay on schedule on first down. That's the entire key to me to the game. Seattle needs to do it for Sam Darnold. And as great as Stafford is, you need to put him in a situation where you've got a two-way go, where you can play action and still put defenders in conflict and they buy it. not because you do it, but because the situation allows for it. So that's what I would say.
We got about a minute or so. If you have, I don't know if you can do this in that amount
Well,
of
what
time.
was DJ's answer? Oh, you can't just
DJ's
move
answer
on.
was just to start fast. Just don't let LA. Just don't play for.
Oh, my answer is better than that. You can tell him I said that next week.
Yeah, I will. Great.
Compare and contrast JSN and Puka Nacua.
Totally different. You know, Puka's a bigger player. I think that he uses his body and his body leverage more in order to create space, whereas JSN is more naturally explosive in his lower half. And so he can create space utilizing that. They both have an incredible feel for the game and coverages that are run. They're very smart players and reliable with their hands. But again, you put Puka in more 50-50 situations because of his body control and size versus JSN, who's going to win, create space, and in particular, exploit a matchup in particular. I mean, similar, I guess, in that respect, but I think that their styles are a little bit different because of the size difference.
This is fun. This is a good little pre-NFC championship game chat with Joel.
What a fun week for you guys. I mean, you guys are on fire there. I bet the text line is on fire.
It is.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Always is.
I know the text line. Anytime you get an osteoporosis on the text line, that's like the listeners are engaged.
Just a day in the life here in the Brock and Salk Show. You never know where that sucker's going to go. So, hey.
Hit him straight, Joel. Hit him straight, my friend. Shoot.
I'm going to try.
All right.
I'm going to try.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, Joel. There you go. There goes Joel Klatt.
Love
See you, boys.
He joins us every Wednesday at, it's supposed to be 8:30, but it's generally been 7:30. I think so Joel can make his tea time. So we've been moving some things around.
That's exactly why.
All right.
Exactly why.
So Jeff Saturday confirmed for 8:30. Is that right?
Yeah, he's confirmed.
All right. So Jeff.
I deliver. It's title game time. Okay?
Brock, I never had any doubt. I know that you deliver.
I've got one left. I got the GOAT. I got to get the GOAT, and I'm working. I'm working hard.
All right. So Jeff Saturday at 8:30.
Yep.
And
Curt Menefee at 9.
And Shannon
Kevin
Drayer
Burkhardt at 8:30
9:30
tomorrow. Shannon Drayer at 9. Like, it's just, man.
A
It's
lot
time to step
going
up.
on.
Time to step up.
Yeah.
And Blue 88 next, and I'll step it up. Blue
Okay.
88 next.
Brock's
right
stepping
here.
it up next on
I'm
Brock
Brock
and
and
Salk.
I'm Brock and Salk.
This Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
The team that got rid of Pete Carroll, let Geno go, DK is out of here, lots of moving parts, are playing to go to the Super Bowl. No one thought this was going down like this. I didn't see this happen for this ball club. It's been the best transition in the league in the past couple of years. No other team has made the major moves that this team has made and gotten to this point.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group. Are you tired of grilling in the cold and rain every winter? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the cold winter. Take advantage of off-season savings through February 15th, and you can get up to 10% off your entire project, plus 12 months with no payments and no interest. You see, most people don't consider building a deck in the winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming and designing your project so you're ready to build by spring. Planning and permits, they take a little time, so get started now. Get project ideas, browse the photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's my friends online at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Get ready for a winter of winning with $125,000 in cold hard cash. Win your share of this spectacular polar payout every Saturday in January with hourly drawings starting at 6 p.m. The fun snowballs from there into a guaranteed 10 grand giveaway at midnight. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
At Cressy Door, we not only have the perfect garage door for your home, but we also offer options for creating space and even warming your outdoor areas. Check out your options at CressyDoor.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about Mike Heward. Not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, 30 minutes from now, Jeff Saturday will be with us. We went a little long, as we intended to do, with Joel Klatt. And so we've got a little late version today, Brock, of Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
425 says JSN equals F1, Puka equals NASCAR. We'll see some of that. Maybe
Did you
more.
hear me asking more
rubbing his
for-
racing for.
Where did that come out? You asked him. Did you hear Bump talk about it yesterday?
I did not,
Is that where
no.
that came from? You did not?
No, I just had
we
one in
were
my
leaving
notes.
the show yesterday, and being the selfish guy that I am, I said to Bump, "Hey man, for your 4 downs, I'd love to hear you compare and contrast Puka
Are you serious?
and JSN."
I did not hear you say
100%
that.
You did not?
No.
I was like, "Oh, you must be asking."
You
this
literally
'cause you
said
heard Bump."
compare and contrast?
Yes. Yes.
It's hilarious.
And of
I had
course
no idea.
And of course, the Sound Hound You know, you don't have to even ask her the night before, Salk.
No.
I was like, oh, man, I remember being kind of a selfish teammate and asking Bump to do that. And he did it yesterday. So you heard Joel's answer. You got the Text Toys answer. Can I hear Mr. Bumpus's answer from yesterday?
There you go. Okay,
He
or just put it on the machine. Here you go.
So I was trying to figure out how can I describe these two. And if you watch NASCAR, right? I watch it sometimes. I'm not like an enthusiast or anything like that, but I watch NASCAR. When you start the race in NASCAR, those cars look pretty, man. They're pretty. They're shiny. By the end of that race, those cars are beat up, right? The fenders are all jacked up. They're smoky. The drivers hop out of their cars. They got dirt all over them. That's Puka Nacua. He's violent. He's dirty. He's gritty. He's going to go get it. JSN, he's a Formula One car. Right? It's more prestigious. It's more smooth. Those cars don't rub. They don't touch when they race, right? You touch, boom, you're going to be in trouble there. That is who JSN is. He's the smoother type of receiver. He understands how to create space with his body without really using his body, more to spatial awareness, to where Puka Nacua is a receiver that's going to run through you. He's going to be violent. JSN, just a more smooth receiver. They both have exceptional ball skills. They both are number one receivers on their team. They both play in schemes that allows them to cross the middle and get open. But when it's all said and done, Puka Nacua's NASCAR, JSN Formula One.
Okay, so the texter stole it from Bump.
Wow.
Or have
Whoever
the
that
exact same
texter is.
idea.
Whoever that texter is better put some respect on Bump's name.
Maybe like me, they didn't know that he had said that. They just had the exact same.
Oh, you think so?
That would be impressive.
I guarantee you that texter heard Bump say that yesterday. He's at his water cooler this morning at the construction site. He's like, you know what I was thinking about Puka? He totally stole it and gave no credit. I gave credit to Whammies last week for Joel Klatt. Give credit, texter.
Yeah, that's not right.
Selfish.
That
is super selfish.
Well, that's crazy, though, that we have the same answer.
Do you
want to add to that?
That is a great analogy. I would say if you were to turn it to basketball, this would be a good one. If you were to turn it to like 80s, 90s NBA basketball players, Puka is violent. He is physical. He's a guard. He's a guard. Yeah, he's Dominique. He's a two-hander. I'm going to rip the rim off the backboard.
Moses Malone?
2 foot. No, I like Dominique better. We'll keep it in Dominique because he can still shoot. He's still nimble. He still gets up and down, but he is power.
Okay.
Straight power.
Yeah.
JSN is like Dr. J. He is smooth. And they can both dunk, and they dunk in different ways. They both score. They score in different ways. But I'll give you a little Dominique to Dr. J. And hey, texter, if you're going to use that, quote me on that one.
No.
All right?
He probably won't, or she. All right, question number 2.
Put some respect on my name.
How do you get to Matt Stafford, Brock?
They haven't yet.
Because that's been the challenge. That's the one thing they can't do. Why can't they get to Matt Stafford?
2 years they have not gotten to him. 2 years, 0 sacks. I said to Mr. Purdy on Saturday night, that was one of my keys to the game. It was explosive plays, and it was getting Brock Purdy on the ground. 4 games, they had sacked him 3 times. Well, that changed Saturday night. They hit him 47% of the time, pressured him. They sacked him twice. They fumbled him. They got to him eventually. They had played Matt Stafford 3 times. Remember, he didn't play in one of the games. Garoppolo played the season ender last year after everything was clinched. In 3 games, they've not sacked him once.
Crazy.
And a lot of that is Matt Stafford's doing. He just gets rid of the ball. He's not Drake May, who's taken 50 sacks, right? He gets the ball out of his hand. And it's really difficult. If he's like Peyton Manning was back in the day. Drew Brees back in the day. Like, I'm just not going to take that punishment. I'm not going to take a negative play. I know my outlets. I know where everybody is, and I know where to dirt the ball. And that is a talent. You could say that to a lot of quarterbacks. Just get rid of the ball. Well, they don't know how to or where to or where everybody is the way that guy does. So he has a sixth sense for that rush. He dirts it. He gets rid of it. It's what he did in the first matchup last year, by the way. The matchup last year, so they faced him 3 times. 2 of the 3 times, they've had their way with Matt Stafford. 8 3-and-outs they forced in the first matchup. Dirting the ball left and right. First matchup this year, hold him to the lowest output he has as a Ram. They've affected him 2 out of 3 times. They got to get him the ground Sunday. They've got to find a way. I don't care what it is, through hell or high water, get that man on the ground.
6th or maybe even 7th sense. Got me thinking about movies of that era. Now I got Super Troopers in my head. Question number 3.
Give me that DJ one, because I did a little work on this.
Yeah, all right. So you said it. DJ said, if you start fast, you'll win. Whoever starts fast at the beginning of this game will matter.
To me, I think it's just handle the first part of the game. Just handle the first part of the game. I think the longer this goes, I like the Seahawks in it. To me, you got to avoid somehow, McVay and Stafford just jumping on you right away. I don't think that Seattle wants to, to sit there and have to chase points all day long. I think if they can just kind of handle the game early on, I think they're the better team. I think they're the more rounded team, and I think they finish it off. But you just got to avoid what I think is going to be some big haymakers from the Rams early in this game.
So went back and looked at the Rams' losses this year. Does that carry over? And in many ways, it does. Now, in the first matchup with the the last matchup with the Hawks, you remember what LA did? They went for it on fourth down at their own 35-yard line.
Yep.
Like they were going to possess the ball. They were going, and Seahawks held them to a field goal and ended up actually after the first quarter leading 7-3 before falling down by 16 with interceptions and everything else and digging out of that hole. So they did that the first time here at Lumen Field. It was 7-3 Seahawks after one and allowed them to claw all the way back in the end. They were down 17-0 to Atlanta. This is the Rams. They were down 14-0 to San Francisco. They were down 14-7 to Carolina. In those games where they have lost, they have not been the front runner and allowed their defensive front, which is the strength of their team, their line of scrimmage, Salk, to tee off on the opponent. They kept it much more balanced, those teams did, and found a way to beat them. And, yeah, I think that onslaught and avoiding that and maybe even jumping on them early, that would go a long way to activating those 12s who are not going to need much help, I don't think, being activated Sunday.
All right, that is today's Blue 88, generally 7:45. Sometimes we move that to 8 o'clock.
I can't believe that texter just stole bump stuff.
I know. Isn't that not right?
Seriously. Was it a 206?
It's a good question.
I can't imagine it was a 253. 253 is going to give credit where credit is due.
You think so?
There's so many texts you can't even go back and see it.
425. That's a 425. That's a 425.
It was a Bellevue guy.
It's an East Side deal right there. Just
come on,
straight up stealing.
If you're going to steal somebody's stuff, just put some respect.
Probably some stockbroker over there stealing everybody's material for himself. All right. Yes, Jeff Saturday, former center with the Colts, who does a lot of work now with ESPN. He's going to join us at 8:30. I actually have some sound of his, Brock, beforehand. Do you want to hear what he had to say about Sam and this matchup?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll play it for you. It might set the scene. We'll do it in Need to Know next.
Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Well, you heard Mr. Klatt say, what a time for us to be alive. What a time to talk sports here in Seattle. Our teams are just flourishing. A championship game this weekend. You know what? And our teams here in town, they've gotten their house in order. And maybe you need to do the same. If you hear my voice on this Wednesday morning and you're frustrated with your insurance, you're not alone. You were like Molly and I, like my parents, like many of my friends. And you can do exactly what we did. You could take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. We heard so many victories through the years. The only bummer is we waited too long. Because it has saved us not only significant money the last couple years, we know we've got the right teammate. Here's how First Mark will do it for you. They fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. Then, unlike you and me, they go to the market. Dozens of major carriers they have worked with for years to find your situation the very best fit. That's it. There's no stress. There's no confusion. They're your teammate. And they spent the last 30 years helping thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance. So please don't wait a morning longer. Take the First Mark Challenge. And did I mention it's free, totally free. And you might be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com. Your teammate that goes to work for you.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
To me, the LJ way is to provide an experience that people really enjoy being a part of.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
Toyota of Kirkland is celebrating the new year with an inventory sale down on all remaining 2025 inventory. Start the new year with a new car at a great price at Toyota of Kirkland. 2025 RAV4s, Tacomas, Corollas, and more. Visit the incredible showroom and wonderful staff at Toyota of Kirkland to check out one of these 2025 models today. You can book a test drive and head home in that new car the very same day. It's an inventory sale down at Toyota of Kirkland. Visit them in person or shop online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Excited about some of the honors that are coming the Seahawks way, Brock, and, you know, that's what happens when you're a good team, and we're seeing it, right? 5 guys named to the All-NFC team by the Pro Football Writers, so that's Jackson Smith and Jigba, Leonard Williams, Devin Witherspoon, plus Rashid Shaheed and Michael Dixon on special teams. JSN and Big Cat both get NFL honors, so they were all NFL. Nicky Manwari, Gray Zabel, Pro Football Writers, all rookie team. So those are just some of the nice little honorees for this, and they deserve
Not bad,
it all.
huh? Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. All young. All younger than a lot of the players on the Indiana football team. who averaged 23.9 years of age. I believe the Seahawks roster averages 23.1 years of age.
Pretty crazy. They are young,
nuts?
man. Well,
so young.
I said Jeff Saturday, right? So he's going to be on with us here in about 15 minutes. He was on First Take, Brock. He was asked about Sam Darnold. How big a deal are his struggles against the Rams?
It's a huge deal. I mean, you're seeing games. You saw C.J. Stroud and what he, how good that Houston Texans defense played. And the quarterback can't put you behind and create problems for your team in the playoffs. That's the bottom line. And so Drake May put the ball on the ground, which kept him in the game. This is a big deal. And you think about Sam Darnold and how the Seahawks want to play. They want to limit the exposure. Now, can he do it? I fully believe Sam Darnold can do it. Can he make the play? Can he score? Absolutely. But their style of winning reminds me so much of Philadelphia last year. If they can play great defense, if they can run the ball, and it's exactly what they did against San Francisco, right? They ran the ball 13. I think they threw it 17 or maybe less. And so they didn't ask a lot. Now, you still have to be efficient. You can't put the ball on the ground. You can't turn it over. But they don't want this to be a shootout with the Rams.
I think that's a pretty good comp, by the way. Jalen Hurts in Philly. It was a season ago, and, we've seen them get to Super Bowls. We saw them win a Super Bowl. And Sam can make every throw. I think Sam's an even better thrower than Jalen. Obviously, Jalen's got power, and he can run a little bit better than Sam. But, yeah, I think that's a pretty good comp and a pretty good recipe, and it's playing complete football, which, as Joel Klatt said, no one's doing as well as these Seahawks.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, meanwhile, Sean McVay offering really nothing but praise for his upcoming opponent. That's probably not a surprise. I played this a couple times, but I'll do it again. I think I like the way he kind of goes through and says, yeah, defense full of, jokers and other things that, keep them up at night.
They have vision for players that are these jokers that allow you to basically be able to be stout enough against the run, but still really good in coverage, where a lot of the explosives come up. And so they're a group that can play a so-called lighter grouping because they go draft guys that they have a vision for. And Nick has done a hell of a job being able to basically play. I mean, he's playing outside linebacker for him. He's playing safety. He's playing star. He's playing the dime money spot. They move him all around, and they can be a nickel, but they can basically present a bunch of different base structures because of his versatility, and they've got guys like that across their front. Ernest has done a great job.
Brock.
Yeah.
Star, diamond, dime money, and jokers. I know what jokers are. That's somebody who's sort of moving around free, right? They can go almost anywhere. Help me with the other three.
Star is another name for a nickel. I think that was a Nick Saban background. You'll see it with a lot of programs. They'll label that a star. That's
it's just a nickel.
That's just your nickel in the slot.
Okay.
And then you had what? Dime? Nickel,
diamond?
Dime.
I heard diamond.
I think dime.
And dime
just
money.
meant dime. Yeah. So dime money would be more the dime. So dime has 6 DBs, right? Nickel has 5 DBs. So dime money is 6 DBs, and that puts him in that Mark Barron role, that inside. Okay. If you get into a set with all their tight ends and they got dime on the field, he can be that dime money linebacker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, next to Drake in there. So, yeah, he's kind of all over the place.
While Mr. McVay is very complimentary. I don't know their Cam Curl. This is not quite Diamador Lenore, but not exactly a compliment to Sam Darnold.
Our secondary, we know what type of quarterback he is, and our D-line pass rush. Going back to last year in the wild card, we got after him. The pass rush got after him. We was in Minnesota. And, it's always going to be in the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? So if the D-line can get after him, we can make plays on the ball. That's going to win us the game.
Do you see him get rattled?
I feel like our D-line can rattle any quarterback. Man, we got some guys on that D-line, on the edge and in the interior, man. So I feel like our D-line can be X factor for us.
He remembers them, Brock. Is he going to be rattled?
Oh, so rattled. It's going to be shaking, Salk.
I don't know if he's going to be shaken, but
not even going to be able to take a snap.
You put that in the Diamador Lenore camp of trash talk?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not
quite.
Getting close.
Nah, it's like a quarter of the way there. It's like just sort of a head fake towards it. Yeah, it is not all the way there.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, no issues. Bryce Miller agrees to a 1-year deal with the Mariners, so that's great. Team option for 2027, so no arbitration there.
And speaking of halfway,
yeah,
Felix almost got halfway, Salk.
Came very close, 46% of the vote. So Carlos Beltran gets in, Andrew Jones gets in. They'll join Jeff Kent. and Felix was the big mover. Biggest movement upwards in voting since 1967. So he gets to 46% in just his second year of eligibility. That's a pretty good sign. I don't have the numbers on players who have gotten to that percentage at that point, but I can't imagine outside of the steroid folks that there is anybody who gets to 46% in year 2 that doesn't eventually get in. So I think you're eventually going to see Felix Hernandez in the Hall of Fame.
I'm trying to understand why that jump was made. I know the Mariners brass and some of the folks that follow the Mariners, and they could put stats and numbers. Did that make more of an impact this time around with some of the voters? Is it some of those voters realizing that era of pitching versus this era of pitching? It's different, right? The level of dominance, the level of technology, the level of whatever it is in this day and age.
Honestly, Brock, I think you're probably going farther than I think you're probably reading too much into it. My guess is there weren't as many good names on the ballot this time, and he had a decent showing last time, and so more people are like, oh yeah, I'll take Felix. I think honestly,
but when Verlander and some of these others come on,
they're going to come on.
Here,
yeah. So there's going to be some ups and downs, but Verlander's only going to be on for a year, right? I think Felix gets in. Be hard to imagine getting to 46 without continuing to grow. You get over 50, 60%.
Yep.
I mean, you're eventually going to get in. I think we've seen that. All right, that is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. We never had Jeff Saturday on, have we?
I don't think we have. No.
Now you played with Jeff.
Oh, did I?
You took snaps. You've been
2 years. I slapped that booty like 2 days of practice in 2 years.
So he's got to be the second person we've had on the show whose hands whose butt you've been under with your hands.
Is it just 2?
Him and Tobeck? Anybody else?
Anybody else? Is Jack Woodman been on the show?
Don't think so.
Olin on the show?
I don't think so. I've been too afraid to.
You haven't had Olin on the show?
No, out of fear for everybody's sake. I don't want to have Olin on the show. What if he doesn't like one of my jokes and we got a problem? No, Olin's never coming on this show. You've instilled
Jason
in
McAdoo,
me.
Brad Hutt.
No,
Opu Simonovich.
Not that I remember, although I think I would remember that. All right, so here we go. Jeff Saturday next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob.
You couldn't ask for a better game.
Every afternoon at 2.
I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about the defense. Brilliant, dominant, suffocating, mean, fast, physical.
What you're watching when you see Leonard Williams. Purdy is incredibly elusive. And to see a guy that big track him down, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever appreciate how fast Big Cat is because he's so big, it doesn't look like he's moving that fast. But he is.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
All right, I've been telling you guys about Trajan Wealth. When I first met with them, I really did get straight talk, not a sales pitch. And I left feeling pretty empowered about where I was going towards retirement with my investing. They are fiduciaries, so their advice is built around what's best for you. And they really do spend a lot of time thinking and asking questions about you so they know who you are and what your goals are and what you're going to do. I saw the difference, and so will you. They'll offer guidance on a variety of financial objectives, including ways to earn higher potential returns and then tax concerns as well. So important right now. Let Trajan Wealth help you develop a plan that's going to meet your financial goals. Call them today at 206-466-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Toyota of Renton is your local dealership for best-in-class service on your vehicle. Start the new year by getting your vehicle winter-ready at Toyota of Renton's service department. You don't even need an appointment, as they offer open service drive. They have certified technicians to keep you safe and stable wherever the road takes you. From oil changes to wiper blades, brakes to air filters, Toyota of Renton's service team does it all. And right now you can save $150 when you purchase 4 new tires. Come in today for service and make sure to check out their service specials page when you visit ToyotaofRenton.com.
O'Brien.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Here's an answer on Felix for you, Brock. 360. Voters just found out that Seattle has a baseball team this year because of what Cal did in getting them to the ALCS. You know what? I know you're making a joke, but that's like not entirely outside the realm of possibility that some of those writers are like, oh, yeah. Huh. Go figure. I forgot about Seattle. Yeah, Felix is pretty good. Jeff Saturday. We've never had Jeff on. I love having rookie guests, Brock. It's so rare that we have someone on the show that we'd never talked to before, but somehow, despite you being teammates with Jeff, I'm assuming you guys weren't that close? Like, you just didn't like it that much?
Yeah, statute
like,
limitations. We've been on the show 17 years.
Yeah.
Let's see, my last year was 02, 03. Yeah, so we're past. We're 2 decades past.
Okay, and
so,
now
and,
you're
and
finally
now that Tom
ready to
Moore
have
is
him on the
finally
show.
now that Tom's finally retiring as well, finally taking care of Winnie after all these years.
Yeah.
I figure now is probably the time.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for being with us.
I'm glad to be here. Obviously, I've strolled in late. You know what I mean? I should have been here before, it sounds like.
Yes.
Well, like, do you and Brock, like, what kind of relationship do you guys have?
Strong to quite strong, like our portfolio. You know, it's
right.
like the, it's that.
Bigger surprise Saturday. Bigger surprise. The Tom Moore coached and is alive and kicking at 87, or the John Schneider and crew have rebuilt a defense very much in the image of the Super Bowl winning defense just a decade ago?
Oh, John Schneider and the defense. Tom Moore was a given. that man wasn't going nowhere, so you knew how that was going to how it's going to wear out. And then,
all right, hold on, wait. Before you get to the Seahawks, I got to ask one more question because I don't think we've ever talked. Brock, we've never had any of your Colts teammates on the show ever. After all of these years, I can't think of a single Colts teammate.
We've had Stokely on.
Maybe. Okay. So, all right, maybe one. Maybe one. All right, fine. Is it true that Tom Moore did not know that Brock was left-handed?
Tom Moore probably could care less about anything to do with Brock. And there are comments out there about how Tom Moore ran our offense, and if Peyton wasn't involved, there was very little care. Let's put it that way.
Yes, that is true. So, see, that is true.
Brock's been using that line for almost 2 decades. I was curious how true it was.
Do I have to run 218? Can I run 219, Tom? Can we flip it? Can I run 219?
Yeah, can we go the other way?
I'm calling 218.
Turn your hips. You can get it by there. You know, I'll give you a great Tom Moore story. You guys will love this, just so you know, like how we all work. You know, like think about it. These dudes won Super Bowls with the Steelers for all these tough teams, right? Now we're in Indy, right? You're playing in a dome, so he's ornery anyway, right? He wants the tough guys. He wants all these things. We draft this kid, Ryan Deem, to play right tackle, who ends up playing with me for like a decade, okay? Turned out to be an insanely good player out of Northern Illinois. But we draft him, and it's like the first Christmas party and that Deem's a part of. And we go up, and there's always like hot dogs and sauerkraut that Howard Mudd made. And, you know, everybody's coming up, and Tom's up there, and Tom and I are talking with Peyton, and we're up there, and Ryan comes up, and he's like, "Hey, fellas, you know, good to see you. Merry Christmas." Like, kind of sticks his hand out, you know, we're all kind of dapping up. Tom just looks him up and down and turns and walks away. He goes, "You got to earn that." So let me just tell you, dude, it was freaking tough sledding in Indy, bro. Don't think it was easy out there for Brock. I'm going to tell you right now, he was living a tough world out there. You ain't dealing with just some guy who wants to be friendly. He don't need friends, all right? He doesn't need friends.
That's why Brock came back here a year later. All right, so, Jeff, I'm going to put you in the position. You are the starting center this weekend for the L.A. Rams, and you know you got to deal with Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, and Jaron Reed, amongst others. How are you preparing to approach those guys?
Oh, jump set, and more jump set. Do not let them get started. I am trying to take everything out of them before. They may catch you every now and again and get the edge, but man, if you're trying to soft set any of those guys, you are getting trucked. And the physicality they play with, the gap they get through, you know, even sliding, like they do a nice job of turning hips and splitting doubles. This is as good a group as there is. And what's crazy, typically teams like up front, they're good at one thing, right? Like they're either all really good at pass rushing, they're all good. These guys, it doesn't matter. I mean, they can flat out get after you in either phase of the game, which makes it an absolute nightmare for you up front. So you kind of try to keep them off guard, right? And I said this actually today on Get Up, and I thought McVay did a bad job of this against the Bears last week. Is you have to stay true to playing both run and pass. If you get into a one-dimensional game, you are going to get boat raced. You know what I mean? And so, as these teams know each other as well as they do, obviously there's always opportunities for big plays, and I know the Rams have put up numbers and vice versa. But this is as good a group as you're going to face, and one that you buckle your chin strap, you can go all four, and let's go get on. But this is what makes your reputation. And look, I know Sam Darnold, everybody's talking about this is career defining for him and his reputation. No different for O linemen. Like you look at these and as nervous as you are, you're also excited that you can, you put a feather in your cap if you do it something that nobody else in the league has been doing this season.
Jeff Saturday here with us. I'm trying to remember, Jeff. I know that obviously Peyton faced that Legion of Boom in the 13 Super Bowl with the Broncos. Did you ever have to face those guys in their prime, 12, 13, 14, the Seahawks group?
Yeah, and I was with the Packers, like when they were really, remember the fail mirror when the referees, that I think it was 11, 12. I can't remember if it was 11 or 12, but it was 12. Okay, yeah. And we got robbed there. Green Bay, we got
it was
robbed.
a catch. It was a catch.
It's a catch. It's a big deal.
Yeah, you're gonna. We got. But let me just say this about that. Y'all love this story. So I'm in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, and we got this plan, y'all. And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna throw this thing around the yard, and we're gonna, it's gonna be tough for them to keep us back on the back end." And I remember looking at Campman, who was our offensive line. I was like, "Hey, who do they think's blocking these guys? I mean, this is scary up front too. Like they gamed you to death." And they just pinned their ears back, right? And so I was like, this is going to get – I think we gave up 6 sacks in the first half. And I remember going – and look, I didn't give up 6 sacks in Indy for a season, much less than a half. I came to the sideline. I'm like, look, we better run the ball. And it actually became a really good game, but they locked us up on the back end. I mean, it was like freaking handcuffs, and they just teed off up front. I hated it. I was like – and the crowd was going nuts. Night it was a whole deal. It was an absolute nightmare. But them dudes, they could go. They were a lot of fun to play against.
Brandon Mebane must have been a pretty. We knew him here, but I always felt like he's pretty underrated around the league. You remember going up against Mebane in those games?
Absolutely, he a freaking freight train, and he was. So if you remember, this always kind of happened to interior defensive linemen is like. Everything gets predicated off like how many sacks. It really very rarely ever goes against like pressures or what we would call like a pocket squeeze, right? Like where the center's getting pushed back into the quarterback. It might not be, go down in the book as a pressure because you're in front of them, but it's affecting the quarterback's throw. But his pad level and leverage was excellent. I mean, he, like I call them like face draggers, right? Like there's face mask literally drags the turf as the ball is snapping. You know what I mean? And he was an excellent football player. Play, because interiorly you got obviously hat and head, but leverage a play, right? If I'm trying to reach you outside, sometimes you might want to backdoor it. Sometimes you might want to stay front side. He had a very good feel for the game, but yeah, he was a really underrated player there out in Seattle for sure.
So how does your eye, your experience, all your background, big games, championship games, all that you watch now, Jeff, doing all the work you do there at ESPN, how does your eye see this one Sunday late? It'll be the evening time on the East Coast, late afternoon in Seattle between these two for the third time.
Yeah, I think it's execution, Brock. Like when I was talking about it this morning, and this is one of the game. This is the game that we all want, or I wanted. I guess I could say it that way. I wanted this game. I felt like the Rams gave one away the last time they played. Right, up 16. Right, the crazy things that happened. Right, the 2-point conversion. Now, Darnold played extremely well at the end of that game. Didn't really start good, but when you think about that game and the quarterback's kind of, I want to see if that continues, right? Can Darnold continue? Because you and I both know, right? We say this in the media all the time. Well, the quarterback can't lose the game, and he has to protect the football. All of that is true, but as a quarterback, you don't know how many points you got to score. You might got to score 35. So what are you going to do? Play conservative? You can't. Like you can't go into a game as a quarterback scared to go make throws. And I don't think Darnold will. I think he'll go in with the mindset of if it's there, I got to freaking let it rip. And I think I want to see what that continuation looks like. Like can the Seahawks and their offense carry in and vice versa on the Rams, right? Like the Rams played well against that. Can they do the same thing? But I think that's all based on execution. I don't think it's going to be a lot of trick 'em plays. I don't think there's going to be a lot of like surprise nonsense. This is, can Walker get downhill? Can they push the edge? Do they stay true to running the ball and let play action kind of open up? Same for Williams, right? Can they get any kind of run game going? And then what does Stafford look like? I think the end of that had so much energy and excitement. Can it couple and continue to go is really the way I see it, and kind of excited for it.
So basically, all you had to say was, "Play smart, not scared." Play smart, not scared. That's basically all. That's basically all you had to say right there. You know, he said to me one time, Jeff. You know, I had like very few completions in my life, and even in practice. And I remember throwing this like deep sail route, and it was great. And it was like in 7-on-7 maybe, or maybe it was even team, and I didn't see the blitzer. And he said to me, "Do it again. They carry you by bootstraps first." And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea what he just said. Like 0.0. And do that again, and they're going to carry you out by your bootstraps first. Yeah, there's an old Tom Moore story for you.
I know you got to get going here in a moment, but I do want to make sure we ask you a little bit about this Seahawks offensive line before you go, because while you haven't been on the show ever, Jeff, which is a huge mistake and one that we don't aim to repeat because it's been a lot of fun. Jeff Saturday with us here. We've spent a lot of time over the last decade talking about this offensive line and the various problems that they've had, and their complete inability to rebuild it. And this year, they didn't go out and do what the Bears did. They basically stuck with the same group. They added Gray Zabel in the draft. They brought in different coaches. Is coaching that big a difference in camaraderie or continuity? Or is coaching and continuity that big a deal that it can completely turn around an NFL line?
Absolutely. I'm telling you, coaching is the most important factor for offensive linemen. Like coaching the details, like I hear, because on television and in the radio, we always talk about QBs, but there are so many. The nuance of offensive line play, whether it's in the run game, where the fits are, whether it's in the pass game, understanding where the quarterback's going to be when he's, where his launch point is, where his eyes are, how long the ball's going to be in the pocket before the ball's. All of those things matter in the way that you set, how you set, where you do. So absolutely coaching matters. And I will say this about the Seahawks, and I said this all season. My favorite part about Kubiak and McDonald and what they were able to do, even when they weren't efficient in the run game, because they weren't all year, but they called it. They never got away just becoming this one-dimensional team. And now their defense obviously gives them the ability to do that, but I just love the fact that they stuck with it, and really they've become extremely efficient over the past month or so. And so you saw, like, what it looks like. It's hard, man, to figure out, like, where you fit and kind of how it is, but you've seen that thing come to life. Obviously, the Charbonnet injury is massive, but even Walker, like the explosive plays he's been able to have, and you're watching, like, the sides of the line of scrimmage get washed down. That's what you wanted to see and what they really got to. And it's really – I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but that's really what opened it up for Philly last year was explosive plays in the run game, and that allowed everything else to kind of filter from there. No different for the Seahawks. Like, they're allowing that offense to stay true to who they are. Tip of the cap to Cuba. That's hard to do. Most offensive coordinators are going to fall in love with the pass game and the good-looking quarterback like the one that you're co-hosting with, right? Like, they fall in those eyes. Let's throw it around. It's so much fun, blah, blah, blah. The grunt work is paid off in Seattle, and it's one of the reasons why they're a fun team for me to watch.
Did I get a new co-host? I'm confused by this good-looking co-host. I don't know what to make of all this. You'd probably say that to everyone who's had their hands under your butt. That's why I get it.
Like him. Yeah. Tom didn't like that pretty look. He wanted an ugly back. Yeah. He couldn't have that pretty guy.
He was looking for more forehead, like he had with Peyton.
Yeah, exactly. You could put a movie on that thing.
Jeff, thank you. It's a lot of fun. Brock, I can't believe you've been hiding Jeff Saturday for all these years. This was great. Jeff, thank you so much. Please join us again at some point because this was great. Thank you.
Hopefully it'll be next week. We'll have a good one, fellas. Y'all have a great one.
All right, there you go. Next week. Wow. All right, that's inviting yourself back pretty quick. That was great. And yes, he does sound like Mark Schlereth. We got like 1,000 texts during that. That's like, is this Stink or is this Jeff Saturday? I mean, I don't know if they know each other. I would imagine they must. They do sound like they got a lot in common.
So they were incubated for 15 years in NFL O-line rooms, so they're going to sound.
But there are plenty of offensive linemen that don't sound like that, Brock.
Well, the ones that talk sound like that, Salk. The ones that talk,
That's
the other
true.
ones don't really talk.
The other ones are just silent.
Yeah. So Stink and Saturday were kind of the talkers. A couple things there jump out. Is he mentioned, and I think you're going to hear this refrain a bunch this week. Oh, Rams gave it away. Oh, Rams are up 16 points, 8 minutes to play.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give up the punt return. Stafford throws it 1 foot better. This doesn't have they win that game. 89 plays, 580 yards of offense. They gave that one away. Well, you know what? The Seahawks gave the one in LA away.
True.
Quite honestly, they dominated much of that game. They shut down that offense. They ran the ball. Sam just threw 4 really bad interceptions. So if you're going to use that refrain for the game up in Seattle, then you better use the same refrain and say, you know what? Seattle walked away from that game and went, man, we gave it away.
Nobody's going to do that.
We just unfortunately gave that one.
Nobody's going to do that. I mean, you can tell them to, but they won't. I mean, like nobody can remember back that far. So you're right, but that's not the narrative that people have built, and so that's
second
just
thing
not how that's going to go.
Exactly what he talked about. That he talked about all year. That commitment to the run.
Mm-hmm.
The old Salk. This team wins the Super Bowl. Salk. I'd love to see that tatted right down there in your low back.
That's probably going to happen.
You want to. The old axiom.
Yeah.
You want to run the ball, run the ball.
No, if you don't run, you can't run the ball if you don't run the ball.
Thank you.
It's true. I know it sounds so ridiculous, but I really do stand by this.
Or Greek. Do it in some other Latin.
Yiddish.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll see if we can come up with a Yiddish translation. If you don't run the ball, you can't run the ball.
I saw an old Yiddish saying, a new one.
Yeah, what was that?
It was a, oh gosh.
The whole mishpocha?
No, it was for a caterpillar that's in horseradish. The world is horseradish. Meaning like that's.
But that's in English.
Well, it's in English, but it's
an old Yiddish phrase.
Malcolm Gladwell. I'm reading another Gladwell book and I'm loving it.
Of course you
For
are.
a caterpillar that's in horseradish, Maura, the world is nothing but horseradish.
Okay.
Okay. Got it?
Sidebar, that reminded me of the song "You Can't Run the Ball If You Don't Run the Ball," and I would like to ask for "Here's the Thing" submission.
Oh yes, that's
that is
true.
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we need that. Good point, Maura. Yes, please jump on the app, Seattle Sports app, and leave us a message for "Here's the Thing." Lyle cut them last week. He did a pretty good job. There was good stuff last week. So everybody's got to up their game. We would like to hear. I mean, Lyle didn't get some of the references and stuff, but other than that, it was. He didn't know who
did that song. Who performed the "If You Can't Run the Ball"?
That was Zane.
That was Zane. But
That was
Lyle
Zane?
didn't know last week who Chris Farley was.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so he didn't know. He didn't get a Matt Foley
Okay, so
motivational
Lyle's Lessons
speaker.
needs to come back and Black Sheep.
No, I got it.
Tommy Boy.
No, later he was like, "Oh, the guy from the bus driver from Billy Madison."
Oh.
You're like, "Well, yeah." Anyway,
It counts. Was that him or not?
It kind of counts.
It was.
Brock, since
You know
I'm
what else
translating
counts?
Yiddish for you, can you translate offensive lineman for me? Jump set versus soft set. He said, if you're going to take on this team, you got to jump set, no soft sets. What does that mean?
Yeah. That means literally for him, especially if you think of a center who's got to snap a ball, right? And that offhand, it is, I am not screwing around. I am not waiting. I am attacking. I am right in their body. Like I am jump set, literally jump set. If I'm an offensive tackle or guard and I'm in pass pro and I got a one-on-one, I'm not kick stepping back and waiting for them to make a move. I am jump setting to get into their body before Leonard Williams' arms can just move me, before Byron Murphy is under my shoulder pads. If Brandon Meebane was a face mask to the grass, I don't even know what Murphy is.
Right.
He's like a caterpillar down in the roots, and he's just rooting guys out. So you can't wait for them to attack. You've got to attack first. Now, you do that, and obviously you miss, big problems. Or obviously they know that's coming, and they swim, they attack, they counter that move. You're getting penetration, and it's a negative play. So there's an offset to those things. Let me just say, to pay that off about running the ball, over 500 carries this year. If you want to compare kind of a stat and a number, we do it a lot with the defense to the LOB group and all of that. That's a number that's getting near that Super Bowl year.
Okay, so you said 500, roughly?
Over 500.
Okay, so let's just use 500 as a number, okay, just for the sake of a little conversation here. So 500 runs over the course of, 17 games?
Yep.
Is 29. Let's call it 30 runs a
game.
game. Let's call it 30 a game.
Because it was over 500.
Okay, so let's call it 30 runs per game, roughly.
Yep.
A bunch of those came in blowout wins, right? Because they had a lot of those this year where you're really running the ball throughout the second half and fourth quarter, especially just to end the game.
They had it last week.
I know. I know that. Like, I get it. So some of these runs are, I mean, some of that's going to be inflated by your just
victory formation,
molly-whopping that you've had over the course of this season. How many times per game, if there are 30 runs per game, how many of them do you think were, I'm trying to figure out the right way to phrase this, choices to run the ball where someone else might have thrown it, or where last year or 2 years ago they might have thrown it? How many times a game do you think they're actually making a decision to run the ball even if someone else might not have, right?
Yeah, it feels like at least 10 of the 30, at least 1/3. So
really? You think it's that much?
Oh, compared to the year before, 100%.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of calls.
Now to the league, it's probably 5, right? All those, many of those third and extra long, 4 of which you converted. Third and short, third and medium, willing to do that. Running it on first or second down, even though they know you're running it, it doesn't matter.
Those are the ones I'm talking about. You think that's 10 times a game? That feels rich. That feels like a lot. But 7 or 8, it feels like it could be the case. And
Somewhere
even that is a lot.
Somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay, well,
I would say somewhere
that's
between
still
5
an
and 10.
amazing difference of plays. If you figure you're running, 80 plays a game, 70 plays a game, 60 plays a game?
60 plays
All right,
a
let's say
game.
it's 60 plays a game, and you're saying 5 to 10?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a significant number that you're making a choice, right?
So if you want to run the ball, you've got to commit to running the ball.
It's 100% true.
I mean, and they have done that in amongst all the praise and all the credit slices everywhere for this team and all the individual talent and all the collective talent, like to not harp on that, because that's what, you heard Saturday say it. That's where McVay got totally out of whack last week, totally out of whack, and tried throwing it with Stafford. And wow, these corners aren't very good. If we block them, there's so many big plays. He got out of whack.
That's like somewhere between 8 and 17% of the plays where you are making a decision to do something.
We're going to run this ball. Yeah, you know what? And we're going to run outside zone. And you know what? They're going to run it down.
Big deal.
But you know what happens the next time? They over pursue or they run it down. We use that speed against them and we boot and we play action away and we move away and we create away. They're committed to it, man.
Really big deal. All right. Curt Menefee is going to join us next. He'll be doing pre and post and halftime on Fox, getting ready for this Seahawks NFC Championship game here on Sunday afternoon. We'll chat with him next on Brock and Salk.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
The team that got rid of Pete Carroll, let Geno go, DK is out of here, lots of moving parts, are playing to go to the Super Bowl. No one thought this was going down like this. I didn't see this happening for this ball club. It's been the best transition in the league in the past couple of years. No other team has made the major moves that this team has made and gotten to this point.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here. And yes, people all over our area are going to lose 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, and they might do it by March with the help of Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. That's the resolution. Or maybe you've made a resolution to lose weight and it's not going as well as you want. It's hard to do it by yourself. Get help. Why not? Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Have a 15-minute conversation. I did this program. I immediately lost 10 pounds in a week. I lost 35 pounds after just 8 weeks, and you can do the same. Here's what I did not have to do, though. Fighting for space in the crowded gym, taking pills or injections, no way. Eating fake, bland, boxed meals, nothing like that. All real food that you buy at the grocery store. So do it for yourself this year. Get those delicious recipes. Get the group to offer support, coaching, and accountability, and that easy plan that really does work. Call 425-588-0080 or go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well,
I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Excite Fight Live MMA brings you a night of raw adrenaline and heart-pounding action. See the fiercest fighters go head-to-head at Muckleshoot Casino Resort at 7 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours before they're gone at MuckleshootCasino.com. It's a fight night like you wouldn't believe. Don't miss live MMA Saturday, January 31st at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking out!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to do you a minute.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! Oh, there's a really nice text, Brock. It says, you guys, from the 509 in Spokane, I was just thinking, you have the best guests on this show this season. I've never listened to any other sports radio show, so I don't know if you're exceptional, but bravo. Really appreciate all the different personalities. You're welcome. Thank you both. Both thank you and you're welcome. I will just say this. 90% of that credit goes to Brock. Most of the guests that we've had are friends and people that Brock knows or has been willing to call or text or in some way get in touch with. And his time, both as a player and as an analyst for all the years at Fox and ESPN, goes a really long way with all of these great guests who just trust Brock. They just like him. They respect him. They trust him. Most of them don't know who I am, and then there's always like an issue of like, will they come back after they've talked to me once, or will they just be mean to me like Joe Klatt? Maura books a couple. Every once in a while, there's somebody out there that I like, but I can't hear Brock loud. But it's all Brock.
Did
Seriously,
or did not
like no
Tom
jokes
Rinaldi
aside.
text me? Did or did not Tom Rinaldi text me last week and say, "Phew, I hope I didn't offend your co-host"?
That was fine. You didn't know that. That's almost impossible to do.
Yes.
No, jokes. No jokes. Brock is so responsible for this. I get Albert Breer. That's like the one guy who I bring on the show now and again. And there are some baseball folks, and Paston and I have had a long relationship. But all of these great guests, this is all Brock and all of Brock's many, many connections through all of his hard work over the years. So I'm sorry to embarrass you, buddy, but it's true. And
just
that's
complimentary. We're just complimentary team here. That's what we are. We're just complimentary team.
Yeah,
We'll
you
do our
bring
jobs.
on good guests, and then I ask them interesting questions. So it's a really great combo to keep them coming back. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just kidding. No, jokes aside, Brock really has done an incredible job with this. Curt Menefee is going to be with us in a minute, another former Brock partner. And then Shannon Drayer. I booked Shannon last night. I'll just let you guys know. I got her number. And I got Shannon Drayer on the show for today. So I don't want to, pat myself in the back, toot my own horn too much. But I did book Shannon Drayer for 9:30, and she's agreed to come on and talk a little Felix with us. Kurt's going to be with us in just a sec. I just want to quickly mention, it's not a big talker today. I had another awesome time at the Torrent game last night, Brock. It is such a great take. It is so fun. It is such a great atmosphere. And Climate Pledge is a cool, such a great venue anyway. But they're getting 10, 12. There was another gigantic crowd again last night. Awesome. And people are going nuts for it. They're into the game from start to finish. The players were not just throwing out pucks at the beginning. I think it was Alexia Gia give her stick to a little kid who was waiting. So many, not just young girls, but boys there also watching hockey. There's a great adult population. It just is so much fun. And just a quick shout out to that, because it was just as a sports fan, I loved it. I love hockey. So maybe that's a prerequisite. I don't know. But the quality of the game is so impressive, and the atmosphere has been great. So just a quick shout out. They won last night, and they do have the greatest female American hockey player, maybe the greatest American hockey player of all time, on their team. She's probably not going to be around too much longer. Hillary Knight, she's near the end of her career. It's cool to just go out and see her. She scored a goal last night on one of the greatest assists you'll ever see from a gal named Hannah Bilka. Dude, it's just cool to see her. Awesome. Like, she's a legend, and she's out there playing here in Seattle every couple nights. So that's been pretty cool as well. So I just want to mention it. That was all. Good. Just a quick little shout out for the Torrent. I know the Kraken get after it tonight. All right, so
Curt said just to give him a call more if you want.
Do you want to do this? What if do you think you want to do Curt at 9:15? We could do that so that we have enough time with him. I want to make sure we got time with Curt. I don't want to spend like 3 minutes with him.
Sure.
So let's see if we can call Curt in about 10 minutes. We'll just sort of, chat for the next 3. I got a question I got to ask you. And then so we'll skip need to know. You guys already know everything you need to know. And then Shannon will join us at 9:30, Trash Takes at 9:45. But let me ask you this. I want to go back to what Joel Klatt said. This is probably like a segment for tomorrow, but I want to at least kind of check in on it.
Okay.
In most years, he said, by this point, you're like, man, all 4 of these teams are really good. They could all win. No one team really stands out above all the others. And he was pretty clear. That's not true this year. No. The Seahawks are just much better than everybody else.
Normally, I get to this point in the season, all of us, we get to this point, and I think it's a coin flip for any of the 4 teams to win it all. I got to tell you guys, I don't remember a year that I felt like a single team was this much better than the other 3 in a long time. I can't remember the last time I felt this way.
He goes on from there, but you get the idea. Is it true? Are the Seahawks that much better than Denver, New England, and the Rams on paper? Now, that doesn't include the matchup, but are they that much better than the other 3 teams left?
Doesn't feel that way to me.
Really?
I think proximity probably creates some of that concern.
Let me ask you
I think if I was if I was in Dallas or I was in Detroit or I was in Orange County as Joel is and just did not live and breathe this every day, especially this time of year, I could see that. I could see the, oh my gosh, that stadium. Oh my gosh, those special teams. Oh my gosh, that run game. Oh my gosh, that defense. There's so many oh my goshes with this crew versus the Rams got like 2 oh my goshes. Those edges and that D-lines, oh my gosh. And Puka, Stafford, or oh my gosh. That's it. Denver doesn't have oh my gosh, they got they rush the passer. Oh my gosh, can they rush the passer? And maybe Surtain, right? And then Patriots are probably the least of those. Being hurt. Yeah, probably the least of those. So if I were afar, I would probably understand that a little bit more.
I think if you looked at it and took matchups out of it, you would say it's very clear. The two AFC teams, especially with Bo Nix hurt, just on paper. Yeah. And the Rams have been bad for the last month, 5 weeks. They haven't been good at all. They've squeaked out a couple of wins, but if you've watched those Rams games, and I think I've watched all of them, they have not looked good. They have not looked the same for over a month. The only thing that is keeping us from saying the Seahawks should waltz through to the Super Bowl and beyond is that they have a really tough matchup problem with the Rams. That our eyes, you just mentioned your eyes, Brock, every time you see them play the Rams, you're like, man, this looks different. They don't look like the same team as they do against everybody else. The Rams seem to have, I'm not going to call it kryptonite. I don't think it's kryptonite, but they have some sort of a matchup advantage that for whatever reason is a problem for the Seahawks team, or at least has been.
Yes, they do. They do have matchup issues. They have 3, 6, 7 tight ends, 6'6", 6'7" tight ends. And
is that what it is?
Absolutely. They've got great length and great size there, and that's a challenge for Drake Thomas at linebacker at 5'10", and your DBs. Job isn't the biggest, and that's a real physical mismatch. They've got a tremendous amount of speed and power and strength at the line of scrimmage defensively, right? And you create a lot of movement, but they puncture that, and they've done a pretty darn good job. Verse and Young are just strong, right? They're so physical, setting edges and doing those things that they can puncture some of your outside run in ways that others can't. Yeah. And obviously, Matt Stafford with his eyes manipulates your coverage, and unlike a lot of these guys that are just – it's a blur with what you do defensively. He's got 20 years on task, and he slows the game down, and he controls it a little bit more with his eyes than anybody else. So, yeah, there are some matchups there that are much more of a challenge than anybody else in the game.
Well, it is still crazy, though, considering where everything started this year. And Curt Menefee was there, right? He was there for the preseason games, as he always is. Not this year, I guess. It was Kate Scott. It's been for the last couple of years. I was thinking out loud. It wasn't him. It was Kate. But Kurt, he sees this thing fairly early. And he's going to join us next because he gets to see it kind of develop and evolve all year on Fox. We'll talk to Curt about that, then Shannon Drayer, then Trash Takes. God, it's a busy day. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle Sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Well, if you're tuning in this morning and you're so pumped about our football team, I get it. And if you're 62 or older and you're in this situation, you got a lot of equity in your home and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or a HELOC means a bigger payment and the cost of selling your home, it's too much right now. So what should you do? Well, Brock Ewart here for my friends at Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard. I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you this too. You got multiple options. You can sell your home. You can get that HELOC or refinance, or number 3, you can dig into a reverse mortgage. Tila's done the analysis, and they believe that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way, especially for seniors, to get cash out of their home without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? Nope. Give them a call today and hear all about it. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all of your mortgage needs. 206-766-8888. They're ready for your call. That's 206-766-8888. Insurance and property taxes, borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 247-2046.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Listen to the 12th man.
And Seattle Sports on 710, the home of the Seahawks.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Pro Savings Days are on at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get an additional 5% off when you buy 5 or more select GE, Whirlpool, and Electrolux kitchen or laundry major appliances. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 123. Discount valid to My Lowe's Pro Rewards members only. Exclusions and other restrictions apply. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for details. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A couple texts on guests since we were just talking about them. Do you ever talk to KJ? Really miss him on the show? Yeah, we can text with KJ now and again, but unfortunately, as a coach for the Niners, that's a no-no. He cannot come on the show, unfortunately, which is too bad because KJ was great and we do love him.
I wonder if he'll go with solid to Tennessee. That'll be interesting.
I don't know. Or maybe he moves up in the world in San Francisco. Yes. I mean, he seemed like he did a pretty good job with the linebackers. And then 425 saying, Brock, just pull some strings, please, and get the GOAT on here, please. Tom Brady, come on, Brock. What are we doing? Get Tom Brady on the show. Working on it, right? That's the whole.
We got the other goat. His name's Curt Menefee.
They're very similar goats. Yes.
Very similar goats, right, Curt? You and Tom Brady, you guys walk around the Fox studios. I mean, it's very similar.
I'm like the Billy Goat that cursed the Cubs for 100 years. Yeah, that goat, So not quite the same. Sorry to disappoint your audience, but I'm here.
You've been around
all the confusion earlier.
You've been around a lot of big name athletes, I'm sure, over the course of your career. Essentially all of them. When Tom Brady walks into a room, is it different?
That's a good question because I think yes, there's a difference to a certain degree, but the difference has waned drastically over what it was certainly when he was a player or even when his first couple of times around us at Fox. I think a lot of people know he took that first year after retiring to kind of learn the business and study, and so we'd see him within the Fox studios from time to time, and it was like, that's Tom Brady. Even though we have our own Hall of Famers and lots of people had relationships with him, he was still different. As the time has gone on, he's become more, I won't say a regular guy, because I think there's always been this, he's been able to balance. I think he and Strahan are both kind of in the same boat in that they are about as famous as you can be, yet when you're around them, they are about as normal as you can be. You can, don't think I'm telling tales out of school because we're all adults. You can have adult beverage with them. You can play card games with them. They will, use the language that adults tend to use, and they tend to understand the way other people react to them, especially people that are meeting them for the first time or around them for the first time, and have the ability to try and put those people at ease. And I think that's a special gift to be at that level and still be that aware.
Curt, we were doing preseason games in 13 and 14, kind of had a sense that team was pretty good and building up to a Super Bowl champion, and you were there for the festivities, hosting the trophy there on the stage, 13 and 14. When people ask you, Curt Menefee, how in the world did John Schneider do this again? How did he put together and build another championship quality team and have you and Terry and Howie and Michael and the whole crew out in Seattle this weekend? What is your answer?
I think he went back to the original formula. I mean, if you look at it, Schneider has always, and I think the Seahawks as an organization, have always done a good job in the draft. No one is 100%, no one hits on every draft pick, but I think that he's been able to, turn one draft pick into multiple picks, but use those picks in the right way. I mean, we've seen franchises that have the number one pick or top 10 pick year in and year out, and they're back there again the next year. The Seahawks have always done a great job, led by John Schneider, of drafting well. And I think they did that consistently, but I think they got away from some of their core beliefs. And I think they've kind of gotten back to that. You look at bringing in Mike Macdonald. Usually you don't bring in a defensive guy after a defensive guy. But his strength is, and I don't want this to sound negative towards Pete because Pete is one of my favorite people. I think he was a genius when he came in. Obviously he was a winner. But I don't think his defense modernized and kept up with the modern way that offenses play. And I think that you wind up drafting to fit the defense that you have. By bringing in Mike Macdonald, I think it allowed them to draft some guys that play more of a modern style, if you will, but certainly sign some free agents. I mean, you look at this front four, it's as good as anybody in football, but it's made up mostly of veteran players. But you pick and choose the guys in other places that fit the style of defense that you want to play in today's game, not trying to fit the style of defense you played for the last 15 years. And I think that that's been part of the big resurgence because you look at it, just drop this team into 2014. For their errors, they're not that dissimilar. I mean, you rely on a strong running game, a super fast defense, a defense that will beat you up physically, a defense that can get to the ball in the secondary, that puts pressure up front. It's defensive heavy. The offense is good enough to win, and you've got a quarterback that Russell Wilson did it a little bit differently, but in the same vein as Sam Darnold, you got maybe a better number one receiver, but really the receiving core is not that drastically different. This is a team that's built on running the football and playing defense, which is kind of atypical of the way teams win nowadays. And I think that Mike Macdonald deserves all the credit for that. I mean, I think the comparison's been made to him being a defensive Sean McVay, and I think that's dead on. I think he's innovating and doing things, and wait till you see his coaching tree, I think, down the road in ways that other coaches are not doing in this day and age.
Seahawks Rams going to rate?
Highly. I mean, I think that. I mean, look, part of it is you're talking television ratings, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of it. I mean, you have to be honest and go, whatever the late window is for the championship game is always going to outrate the early window. Unless it's some miracle thing happens.
Right.
So it's going to win from that standpoint. But I think even though it's all West Coast, I think that these are two teams. I think people are intrigued by the Seattle team because they're learning more and more. And not only are the Seahawks winning, the last two times they took the field, they were dominant on standalone games. And people saw that on Week 18 and then here in the divisional round of the playoffs. And so I think people want to know more and more about them. I think the Sam Darnold story is a story that captures a lot of people's attention. And I think Matthew Stafford going for a second Super Bowl, the Rams, McVay, all that stuff, has enough national following that I think it will do well. I think it's going to do really, really well.
How big a deal is the size of each market in the NFL these days? Is it relevant? No. Is it a big deal, or is it much more the history of the teams and the storylines and the quarterbacks and the stars?
It's the latter. It's much more about the history of the teams, the stars, particularly the quarterbacks. I mean, look, if the Houston Texans were going to the Super Bowl, I think that it might not rate as well because of the tradition. I mean, Houston's they have to look at it, 5th or 6th largest television market in the country. So it's a big market, but there's no tradition of winning there. There's no identity. People aren't on the C.J. Stroud bandwagon or don't know much about him. Whereas Seattle, even though it's a smaller market, I think people know a little bit about the history of the Seahawks. They certainly know about Sam Darnold, and the Rams bring a lot with them. I really do think. So I think that this one will rate well because of the identity of the team and the franchises, and you've got some marquee quarterbacks in this.
How curious are you to compare and contrast what you're going to feel, hear, environment to those years in 13 and 14?
Extremely. I don't think that there is it's funny. We were discussing it in watching games the other day. And maybe you guys have heard it up there a lot, but, losing the Sonics, I think, changed Seattle as a sports town. And I don't think there's a better sports town in America right now, or certainly nothing that is better. It certainly may be on par, but it's a unique place. And I don't imagine anything less than what we saw in 13, 14, and maybe more. Sure, 13 was the first time. They've been to the Super Bowl in 06, but the first time they won it. So that was a little bit different, brought something maybe to 14. But I think the gap in between the years and going down and changing head coaches and, I guess the stats were last week, it's, the first playoff game they've had in 5 years in Seattle. Well, there were no fans at that game. It was COVID. So this is the first time fans have been in a championship game in, 11 years, 12 years? And so there are people that are 30 years old now who couldn't go to the game before, who grew up Seahawk fans. But now they can, knock on wood, afford a ticket. They can get in there. I think the city's always been electric about the sports teams there, particularly the Seahawks. But I think it's going to be even more so because of you had it, you kind of lost it for a little bit, and you got it back. And I cannot wait to see what it's going to be on Sunday.
You guys are here, which is great. We get the live Fox broadcast on location, which is always fun. So that's really cool. And I hope you guys really focus and tell people about Mike McDonald. We've just been so blown away over the course of, the last 2 years, but especially this year. And once you start to understand some of these sayings he has, the 12 is one and chasing edges and complimentary football, once you start to understand him, it's taken me some time. He's a smart dude, man. He really is different.
He captures you, no question.
Yeah.
And to follow Pete, and to be the one to follow Pete.
Talking about a little bit earlier.
So hard to do.
I was saying a little bit earlier about him being kind of the defensive version of McVay. I think a lot of that is not just the X's and O's aspect. It's the way they lead a locker room. It's the way they lead a coaching staff, and they coach their coaches, which not everybody does. Brock can tell you. So I think there's something special about him, and you're right. I can't wait. Obviously, this is the biggest platform he's ever going to have to this point of his career. And I can't wait for the country to learn more and more about him, because I think over the years he's going to be one of those guys that I don't want to say you ever take it for granted, because I think if you're special, people don't take it for granted. But I do. I genuinely believe that this guy's special. I really do. And that's another home run. You know, you look back to John Schneider. You know, not a lot of people were banging on the door of Mike McDonald and saying, this is the guy that we want to lead our franchise. And not that people were against him. He just was not high on a lot of people's radar. And it was one of those guys that, John Schneider took note of, having played his defense and saw what he was about and learned a little bit more about him as a person, so that when the process came along and he had your list of candidates, he was on it and he was high on that list. But that was because Schneider had done his research ahead of time. And, you know, not just one of those, like we see franchises, we fired a coach, now let's see who's out there.
This is cool. Curt, thank you so much. It's always good to catch up with you, and psyched to have you guys in town. And thank you so much. We'll do it again soon, I hope.
I can't wait. We'll see you there somewhere on Sunday.
You will.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you will. Be ready.
Brock and I haven't watched the game in person together since the last NFC title game here against Green Bay. So this is going to be a big day. Yeah. Yeah. It's huge.
Hey, let me ask you a question here. I was discussing with our producer, and he was talking about, the fish market shot. And he was like, oh, okay, we got to do. I go,
no, you don't.
People in Seattle are sick of the fish market shot. And he's like, no. People I'm like,
hate it.
Will you back me on this?
Hate it. It is a huge deal, and I hate to give credit to your you're not even really competitors, but NBC's done a really good job of not doing that.
Yeah, don't do that.
They've done a really nice job of showing some different shots, and I think it's time for Fox to up its game with some different shots around. It's such a beautiful region. There's so many cool places to go. It's so pretty here.
It really is. It's one of my favorite cities, period. But thank you for backing me, and now
there
I
you
can
go.
take
You
this
got it.
And give it to my producer and say,
send it to him.
There you go. There goes Curt Menefee. We got to run, Brock. We got to take a quick break because we got Shannon. I booked Shannon. The last thing I want to do is make her wait or give her short shrift. Shannon Drayer next, and then stop that. Stop it. Trash takes after that. Brock and Salk Sales Sports on 710.
Some breaking news.
First, with breaking Seahawks news.
Mike McDonald, the bummer is Sharps. He's got a significant knee injury, unfortunately.
Stay with Seattle sports for the very latest.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's got a good long road to come back.
Get instant, up-to-the-minute breaking news alerts from the Seattle Sports app.
Is a torn ACL for Zach Charbonnet. Yeah.
And SeattleSports.com is the place for reaction and analysis. And we're streaming live on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Luxury has arrived. Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's a wide open, man. Great spot to watch this weekend. You can catch every game. Yes, Sunday too at Hawks Peak. 66 plus TVs, a heated outdoor deck, 2,000-seat entertainment venue, and all the fun stuff that comes with watching a big game at the Hawks Nest and at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. SNOcasino.com for more. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Our #1 thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle.
Seattle is going to win this football game.
And Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Well, this is pretty fun for me. Normally, Shannon O'Kelly and I are talking physical therapy, but today we are talking First Mark Insurance. You made the call to First Mark. You took the challenge. Why?
Brock, I was looking for a local agency that I could align with similar values, and they've helped us here at IRG. They shop different plans. They find the best plan for you, the best price, the best coverage, great customer service, and great connectivity.
Did they save you any money along the way?
Absolutely, they saved us money. Obviously, here at IRG, I have several needs in the insurance industry, and they look at those needs A to Z, and they find out what kind of coverage you need, what is the best coverage, at what cost, and they're always looking to save money. And again, it's all about providing my company, IRG, great customer service.
Well, Shannon and IRG, they took the challenge. Molly and I, we took the challenge. Are you confident that your business is getting the very best when it comes to your insurance needs? If not, take the First Mark Challenge today, and it's totally free. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Shannon Drayer's here, Brock. We're a little late. Sorry about that to everybody. I'm sorry if you missed anything you needed to know. It was pretty simple. A bunch of Seahawks were honored, which was great. And Felix Hernandez got to 46% in the Hall of Fame voting, which is the largest jump ever from year to year for a single player. He went from 20% to 46%. Just simply incredible. Shannon Drayer, our Mariners insider, and I booked her. Brock, I booked this guest, so I was like, shout out to me. I texted Shannon. I got her number. I texted her yesterday. I got her on the show. Why the huge jump for Felix? Why? What happened?
You know, this is a really easy explanation, and it's not too exciting. But in 2015, the BBWAA allowed the MLB.com writers to join the BBWAA for the first time. That's the Baseball Writers of America Association. They are the voters for the Hall of Fame. Now, you're not eligible to vote until you have been in for 10 years. And so there was an influx of MLB.com writers, about 40 of them, I believe. And at the same time that they did that, and this is why you've seen things evolve a little bit, they also, back in 2015, put in the rule. You used to be able to vote for the Hall of Fame for life.
Forever, yeah.
And then they put in the rule you had to have been active in the last 10 years. So you've seen an electorate, that's hard to say, go from about 525, 550, down to around 400. So it's a shrinking electorate and an electorate with a lot of new voters. And MLB.com, obviously, if you have checked in on their sites in the last few years, have gone heavy on the analytics. And so I think that helps Felix, but I also think there's more of a realization that it's so important with pitchers in particular that you're going with the era, because pitching and hitting, for that matter, you guys are striking out more now with the approach that they have at the plate. It changes. And so you cannot go with the traditional 3,000 strikeouts, 300 wins that pretty much ruled the game and was the standard for so long, because starters don't stay in games as long anymore. They don't usually start as many games as they used to start. And, hitting trends will sometimes play into it as well. So I think that they were more focusing in on the era, appreciating more what Felix did. And he now sits in a good position as, basically, if you're looking back, I believe it is, if you hit 57% on your third year, every player but one, and that player had issues, has eventually been elected to the Hall of Fame.
It's a good number. As January gets put in the rearview mirror, and we're right around the corner to some spring baseball here. Have you felt the city this alive? Mariners, the run they go on. Seahawks, the run there. Have you felt, you've been around this for some time, Shannon. You've seen a lot of different players and teams. Have you felt the city quite like this?
Well, first of all, Brock, I wish the Huskies were part of this, that I might trade one of those teams out for the other. Maybe not. I am just such a huge fan of sports and what it can do for a community and sports doing good. So it's just so exciting. I know a lot of people who maybe don't pay too close attention to one or the other, and they just have jumped on board, and it's so fun to see. It's fun to see kind of the unexpectedness, I think, of the Seahawks. And hopefully you were expecting, from November on, because obviously they've done a lot of good things. And it's just, there's an element of hope with it and good things with it. And I think it's absolutely fantastic to see.
And FanFest's going to be lit next weekend, huh?
How about that? I am so glad. And this is, they've done a couple of different smaller fan fests, like right before the season starts. And, during the pandemic, I think they did a virtual fan fest. This is, and I don't need to sell it because I do believe both days are sold out now, but this is just the old school, the OG, the park is open. You can get on the field. You can get in the clubhouse. You've got players wandering around the park. This is, I think, just one of the greatest events that any, I think, sport can have. There are fans out there that want to see all that stuff. It's usually one of the more affordable things that, families can go to, entire families, to spend, even maybe more time than you would at a ball game. I think it's just such a huge thing. I'm thrilled that they're getting the response that they're getting, and I hope it never goes away again.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of moose. Chasing and conversing and hugging even, when the kids were younger. Can we go back to Felix for a moment, Shannon? State your case. What is the case for Felix Hernandez?
I think the case, and I was of the mindset that, the day he walked off the field, it's a good career, but it's not going to be enough. And I am a very small hall person. I'm old school in that regard, but not in what you take into consideration. I think you have to compare him to the era that he was in. And I went back and I looked up, and first of all, I think starting pitchers, and relievers for that matter, but I'm just talking about starters here, are so underrepresented in the Hall of Fame. If you think about the responsibility that they have in terms of the impact that they have on an individual game, I think that they should, be represented more than any other group, and significantly more than any other group. And unfortunately, there have only been 8 pitchers who have pitched in the 2000s who are in the Hall of Fame right now. And I think that needs to be more. And I think that Felix, when you do that, I never would have put him first ballot, but I do think that as we get further away from it and as we see the evolution of the game, you can have a broader, appreciation for what he did, and that he was one of the most impactful players. I believe it was from 15 to 20, like 7
he was
years
dominant.
after.
He was one of the dominant pitchers of his era. So that's always my argument for any player. Were you one of the dominant players of your position, of your era? And Felix was. So when I said that to somebody, a big baseball fan, they said, okay, so is Johan Santana in your book? And I said, yeah, I guess so. Like, I certainly don't have any problems with that. I don't know whether I'd be campaigning for Johan Santana, and certainly Felix took him deep for the granny, but like, sure. Like, he was one of the dominant pitchers of his era. I would have to go back and look at the amount of time for him versus Felix. But yeah, okay. Like,
yeah, maybe they got that wrong. You know, maybe you see that on a future ballot. You do see Santana. There were, some off-field things that I think definitely played into that as well. And, then you look at Cy Youngs and finishes and things like that, and they're pretty much up there. He pitched in not a challenging environment as far as ballpark goes, but as far as the teams that were around him, it's a lot harder when you are not winning ball games, when you're not on a winning club, and especially with how they leaned on him. Sometimes I look at what he did and I forget that he's, he was out at 30, 31, started at 19. And if you look up his year 1 and 2 seasons, as far as innings go and a couple of other things, it's very close to what you see from Paul Skeens. Only he was 19 and 20. And another thing that I take a look at is I do think that he pretty much pioneered a pitch. He wasn't the first, but he was like the second or third with the high velo, very small differential in that changeup. That changeup was special. And that was something that I think really separated him from pitchers. And now you're seeing, since then you've seen more pitchers throw that pitch. So I think he kind of hits on all different scales. The number's just a little bit shy, but it depends on what you're looking at. You can't look at 3,000 strikeouts and 300 wins. You just can't. So I'm
Verlander's going to be the
optimistic.
outlier there.
Well, yes, and he pitched forever. But Felix was right there with Verlander when they were both in their prime. Now Verlander, I give him all the credit for going back and almost hitting a second prime due to the work that he put in.
And that's why he's going to be a first ballot guy, no questions asked, no matter what. And Felix is probably going to be 4th, 5th, 6th year.
Right.
But they're both Hall of Famers. Go ahead, Brock.
I was just curious if there's any new recipes in order down in Peoria.
Do you have a request?
Just kind of curious. Is there a lemon tree out back? Like there was at the last home.
What are those fruits? What are they?
We'll see.
Brock,
I think we have a putting green. I'm not sure, but that.
That's a shame. I won't be bringing my clubs this year, so there's no opportunity to go golf.
What?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We gonna see any moves between now and then? It sure feels like everything's quiet, but then kind of out of nowhere yesterday, you get the Luis Robert deal with the Mets, so obviously things are still percolating. Is this it? Is this what we're going to spring training with?
I think, I don't want to say comfortable, but I think that they know that they can survive and that they can focus on the younger players if they don't get what they want right now. I think so much is on St. Louis. And that's up to them. Are they going to trade Donovan? And what are they going to trade him for? The Mariners have a good offer. From what my understanding is, it's not exactly what St. Louis wants, but he hasn't been traded yet, so they're not seeing what they want. So I think that is one of the ones that could go long.
Nico Horner, any chance?
I've contended all along. I don't think the Cubs trade him. So if he is truly available, I think the Mariners would have a heck of a chance with that.
I like him better than Donovan.
You have. I think I like Donovan a little bit better.
How come?
I do think I like the second year in that, in what you might be giving up. I feel good about him as a leadoff hitter. I think he has the possibility to just give a little bit more offensively.
All right. Shannon, you ever ranked trash takes? Because that's what we're going to do here. This is I could use some help.
I was supposed to do that the last time, and you guys didn't get to it.
Well,
we
as
talked
you
too
know,
much
Shannon,
baseball.
I am the trash master, having given so many trash takes over the course of my career, really just sometimes over the course of the day, that every week Lyle and Maura and Brock bring together some of the worst takes they've heard from around the sports media universe, and the trash master decides which is worst.
Get it together. Y'all look like trash.
Trash takes.
It's a bunch of trash.
Oh, gosh. I thought it was trash.
On Brock and Salk.
That's a terrible take.
Maura, I think you won last week, even though you weren't here.
That sounds right.
Where's your freaking hat, dude?
It's in the other room. I'm done with the hat.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Woman from Alaska puts her blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Put those patches on. The least you can do is show Shannon your bucket cap from Alaska.
No.
That's trash.
I don't
take,
want
Salk.
What?
No.
Lyle, can you get up and go grab it
I don't
from
want
the drawer
You can
and
go get whatever you want. I'm not
throw
going
it
to
in
put it on.
Salk's face?
I don't
Maybe
want to.
Shannon-
You're not going to tell me what to do.
Maybe Shannon wants to wear it.
Really?
Does Shannon look good in a bucket hat?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't see that happening. Brock, the Raiders brand is not what it used to be.
Why are you so selfish? Seriously, why are you so selfish?
All right, what do you got,
now?
Brock? Just for that, you're going to have to go first. Brock,
Great.
what is your trash take this
The
week?
shortest one I've
Is it
ever-
Is it Ryan Clark?
Nope. No Ryan Clark. No Cam Newton. Nope.
Angel Reese?
No Angel Reese.
Oh.
No. This is the shortest one I've ever sent tomorrow, too. This is only about 10 seconds.
Okay.
Man, you got millions of followers. You got millions of people that listen to your podcasts. Bill Simmons, this is embarrassing.
Heard
bro.
this yet?
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, New England Rams, which was a lousy Super Bowl. Seattle, New England, one of
Maybe
the best
Seattle,
ever.
New England's the best one because Seattle's never won a Super Bowl.
You can't go wrong
And
there.
they would be getting their revenge on that.
He's issued an apology since.
Bro. They're talking about matchups. What would be the best Super Bowl? Oh, Bill Simmons. Oh, maybe a Seahawks-Patriots rematch. You know, they've never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to remind yourself of, to your point, Salk, people have no idea.
None.
What the heck happens in Seattle?
No clue. Not even a little bit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bill, they won a Super Bowl. They beat Peyton Manning.
It was like literally the year before.
That's just, it's just trash.
Yeah. Okay. Bill Simmons. So Shannon will just try to remember these. You got Bill Simmons. The Seahawks have never won a Super Bowl. Lyle, what are you bringing to the table
Lyle
today?
said he was nervous, by the way, during break.
I know what Lyle's bringing.
Shannon walked in. He's like, oh, I'm kind of nervous to get my take in front of Shannon.
I believe it.
A little, but I'm not going to get knocked off my spot.
I think it's a pretty good take.
I'm not going to get knocked off my spot because my plan here today is to eviscerate a bunch of baseball writers because while we're on the topic of Hall of Fame voting, we got to start revoking ballots. I'm serious. There's people out there that cannot be voting for the Hall of Fame anymore.
You're looking for like voter registration laws?
Sure. Including this guy, Steve Politi, who apparently gets a Hall of Fame ballot despite his job being a host of a Rutgers podcast, who decides to take it upon himself to not vote for Felix for the Hall of Fame, which, fine, there was less than 50% of people that voted for him, but took it upon himself to vote for Rick Porcello, who, by the way, owns one of the greatest Mickey Mouse Cy Youngs in the history of the award. He had no business winning it over Justin Verlander. They gave it to him for pitcher wins, of all things. And he voted for him for the Hall of Fame.
Is him voting for him a take?
Yeah. Your take is he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Is this a trash take or is this a Lyle take?
No, it's a
Sounds
trash
like
take.
Lyle
Rick Porcello was a below league average starter for his career by ERA+.
Lyle, do you need a hug?
I'm just sick and tired of some of these baseball writers having a Hall of Fame vote. Like, it's so ridiculous every year, and this was the worst one that I saw this year.
Shannon Lyle doesn't like hugs.
Yeah, don't try to hug Lyle.
It's like the picture I posted of Tom Moore and me from the Hall of Fame. He didn't like physical touch.
Whatever you do, don't try to hug Lyle.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't end well.
No.
He is not a hugger. Are you, Lyle?
Cold as ice.
Have you ever had a good hug?
I'm sure at some point.
See, it's funny because Brock's a good hugger. I
Salk's a
consider
good
myself
hugger.
to be a very good
Boy,
hugger.
howdy, the greatest hugger in the
Probably.
history of
Yeah.
mankind who worked that
You
board
like a
for
hug, Shannon? Are you a hugger?
I am not a hugger.
No, Shannon doesn't want to be.
No.
Yeah, get away from me.
But I have an excuse for that
Okay.
because I'm always afraid I'm going to get picked up if somebody hugs me.
And Heather's
So-
told me it is a little hard because she's short also. That not making a joke.
Side hugs.
I really am.
Yeah, side hugs. Like it's just you
You're
come
allowed
to an
side
awkward
hugs.
spot on people sometimes, and she's like, I just don't want to hug men because it's always weird. Yeah,
And we lost Brock.
yeah. I'm not even making a joke. She's like, I don't want to do it. I'm out. No more hugs. I like hugs.
Lyle doesn't have an excuse.
No. He's just cold as ice. Mora?
Am I a hugger?
Yeah, you're not a big hugger.
I mean,
You're all elbows.
depends on the person.
You're all
But if I don't know
elbows
you
and
that well,
stuff.
no, don't touch
Yeah,
me.
Yes.
Brock and I are the only ones that really like hugs here. Don't touch me, bro. All right, Mora, you are usually the winner of this. What is your trash take for the week? By the way, easy path to it today if you can do it.
I think this is a pretty good one. I'm going with Bills owner Terry Pagula trying to defend GM Brandon Beane. So a lot of people thought that he should have been the one to go, the GM of the Bills, as opposed to Sean McDermott, the coach. They're now doing a press conference where Terry Pegula is trying to defend Brandon Beane, and he does it by basically trashing a player that's currently on their roster, Keon Coleman, and saying Brandon Beane didn't want to draft him.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player. And, he's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it. But I'm here to tell you the true story.
All right. Well, so first
Keep
of
that
all,
in-house.
Keon Coleman's not going to be back next year. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah, but how do the other players on the roster feel seeing you do that?
Terrible. I thought you were going to go with some of this Baker Mayfield. Now Joe Thomas is into it. Have you seen any of this, Brock? Oh, this is great.
Spicy.
Oh, it's very spicy. You know where I've been getting all my info on this? My guy, Dolph Kleiman. I was trying to sell Brady this week on paying more attention to Dolph Kleiman as a satire, and I don't know if I convinced him, but just so you guys know, Baker is mad about Stefanski.
Yeah,
because he was called a failed quarterback, and he's like, failed is quite the reach, pal. Still waiting on a text or call from Stefanski after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach. Well, now Joe Thomas jumps in. I could be wrong, but I've heard the communication is a two-way street, and there were no laws against you, Baker, sending Stefanski a text or calling him after you got traded. All right, Shannon, I don't know if you feel like I do. Bill Simmons, that wasn't a take. He was just wrong. It was just an incorrect misrepresentation of the facts.
Just not surprising,
No.
so I don't know. Yeah.
Steve Politi, that's a dumb. I mean, that one's bad. Don't get me wrong, but don't you think Terry Pegula wins?
Wait, no.
Or are you going with Steve Politi?
I mean, yeah, definitely not. I think, I might go with Mora for both the best and the worst take of the week, with the best being the hug take.
Yeah, okay. Wow, Mora, how about that? Of course Mora wins. Lyle, good effort. Good job, good effort. Brock, that's not even a take.
What?
It's not a
He
take.
gave you a take of the Super Bowl he wants to see.
Right, but he just had the facts wrong.
Why don't you bring takes to Trash Takes, Brock? Are you going to have a take this week? Are you going to have one?
All right, Shannon, we got to go. We got to make room for Bump and Stacy.
Shannon, it gets feisty in here on a Wednesday.
I like it.
Day.
We'll see if anyone's going to be out here stealing more of Bump's material after people were just robbing him blind.
Bump was kind of pissed about it.
As he should be. He maybe go off on the 425 today. If you're on the east side, beware. Shannon, thank you.
Got it.
Great to see you. Lyle, Mora. We got are we gonna have
tomorrow?
Kevin Burkhardt, who I love, and he's doing the game this weekend. And we're still hoping for Brady. We'll see what happens. Not Brady Henderson, Tom Brady. We'll see you guys at 6 a.m. Bump and Stacy up next. Until then, the hay
is in the bar.
Hey, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
The team that got rid of Pete Carroll, let Geno go, DK is out of here, lots of moving parts, are playing to go to the Super Bowl. No one thought this was going down like this. I didn't see this happening for this ball club. It's been the best transition in the league in the past couple of years. No other team has made the major moves that this team has made and gotten to this point.
Only on Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. When I first met with Trajan Wealth, I love what I got. Straight talk. Not a sales pitch, straight talk. I left the meeting feeling empowered. They're fiduciaries, so their advice is built around what's best for you. I saw the difference, and so will you. Trajan Wealth specializes in retirement strategies for families with $500,000 or more, and they understand that no two retirement plans are the same. They offer guidance on a variety of financial objectives, including ways to earn higher potential returns and tax concerns as well. Let Trajan Wealth help you develop a plan that is going to meet your specific financial goals. Start by calling Trajan Wealth today, 206 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300. Or go to TrajanWealth.com. That's TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey Hawk fans, Jake Bobo. Stormy weather is here. How's your roof holding up? Give Techline Roofing a call. With the strongest warranty in the business, Techline has you covered. That's Tekline. Roofing.com. Trust Techline.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals.
Pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host Hack.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer